Hey, it's Barry.
Hey, it's Nate.
Hey, it's Bryan.
I don't know who's hosting this one.
New year, same podcast. Collecti-Bros. What's up?
Welcome back.
Hey.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Energy.
G Fuel's kicking in, huh?
New year, new me, guys.
Welcome to our 2023 year wrap-up.
Is this the last episode of 2023, the first of 2024?
This is the first of 2024. Today is January 1st.
Oh.
So we're wrapping up the last year. We're going to talk about games that came out in 2023, what we played, what we were impressed by, disappointed. And then we're going to talk about the podcast, what we played, what we were impressed by, what we were disappointed by.
That's just overall thoughts for the year.
Just kind of overall thoughts for the whole year. If you have not listened to us up through the year,
You should do that for starters.
You should do that. There's like 40. I think this is the 40th episode that we've done, which is kind of wild.
Cooking, bro.
I know. So if there's anything in here that sounds interesting to you, you just go back through it and listen to it. Some of us have some favorites more than others. But we're going to talk about, starting off with, 2023. Games released. This is a packed year.
Big year.
This is an incredibly
huge year for
crazy
gaming.
year.
Interesting year, too. Kind of for the industry in whole, because obviously there's some, game of the year conversations insane. But something that kind of got overlooked, it's a big years for like games and other media. There were so many movies and shows released this year, too. Some good, some bad.
Well, you also have to think this is a lot of backlog and stuff that's been sitting and waiting since pandemic because they stopped working on it.
Yeah, we got like a rush.
Yeah, so this kind of makes up for the lack of the last couple of years. But I want to start off by saying this is very close to TGA and a lot of the controversy with TGA. And I feel like I can safely speak for all three of us in saying that we hate the Game Awards for various reasons. But specifically, I hate the Game Awards because every single year it creates a divide so drastically in the gaming community.
Divide, right?
I know, we are the most oppressed, but true. Oh my gosh, the more I hear about Spider-Man 2 versus Baldur's Gate, I'm just like,
why?
All right, y'all can say it for like a couple days, but come on, man.
We're all on the same team here.
And now,
it's so crazy.
And now everyone's freaking out about being called a casual gamer, and I'm just like, bro, if you play 2K, Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Spider-Man 2, you're a casual gamer.
Damn, I guess I'm casual.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We play casual games. I don't know if we're casual gamers. I don't think you sit there and put 1,500 hours in your Xbox and consider a casual gamer.
I know, it's stupid. It's just like, who cares?
Just have fun.
I don't care. I play the games I like, and I don't play the ones I don't. I don't fucking care if you think so or not.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right. So that's what it's kind of generated this year, is the whole people bitching and moaning about only casual gamers think this, blah, and they're like, only people with a high IQ can think this, and I'm just
God.
Okay, whatever. So,
it's
a Tool concert, or
yeah. So what? Did you guys watch Rick and Morty? So whatever we say on this podcast, I suppose, is our more personal opinions, but I just wanted to put it out there because TGA sucks. It was handled very poorly this year.
Hey,
I think even if you love
wrap it up.
Yeah, sorry.
Wrap it up.
I think even if you love the Game Awards, you were disappointed with some shit this year.
It was pretty.
Also, I love the idea of the Game Awards. It's nice to see, developers and the people who actually worked on these things get the nod, but it ain't that anymore.
No, it's all about the money. So anyways, what we're going to talk about is not really related to Game of the Year. I think these are all our personal opinions about what stood out to us and what disappointed us. So
because we don't disagree.
Yeah, we will disagree on some things.
Which is fine.
We'll still be friends and not have name calling, or
we'll be friends until I rob you guys of your steel battalions.
If I had another one, Barry, you could have it.
So who wants to start us off? Do you...
I guess topic, and then I can start or whatever.
No, this is just a free flow conversation. Yeah. Like, what is something, because I played a lot of games this year.
You probably played the most.
There was a point in time where so I'm going back to school for some things, and I don't have a lot of time comparatively to whatever, but there was a point where I was just murdering myself playing games.
One of your life.
I think it was for 4 weeks straight, I just played and played and played and played games. So there are a couple that stood out, and it's not like the games came out in 2023 too, and I kind of want to try and focus on those more. But honestly, like, I don't play a lot of new release games because I don't want to dedicate the full price for it if I'm not committed to it. So there's a couple that I did pick up day one, like for absolute sure.
I even did this year.
So, like, full disclosure, like, we all have not played every single, like, big heavy hitter this year.
Yeah, guys,
like,
I haven't played Baldur's Gate yet.
None of us played Zelda.
I'm waiting for the physical. Don't kill me. We didn't play Zelda. I didn't even play the first Breath of the Wild, guys.
Yeah,
so, like,
I haven't either.
I did.
See? Yeah. But yeah, so none of us traditionally, like, even when Brian, I think you probably buy the most new releases out of all of us. You don't
he doesn't play them.
You don't get to them until, like,
eventually.
I'm kind of the same. That's why I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like paying full price, and I don't get to them. So, like, why am I going to sit here and pay full price if I don't get to it till a year later? Like, I'm just going to start Witcher 3 for God's sakes. Like,
right. I actually started this year off with Witcher 3.
I'm ending the year with Witcher 3.
With the PS5 release.
Last year with Witcher 3.
I haven't played it. I will
someday. But so I will say, like, Bryan, maybe more so. You probably bought more and played more, but
I think Barry, you definitely played the most this year, though. Like 2023 games.
Y'all play.
I played like 190.
Okay, all right. So the games that I bought full price this year and played, Horizon Forbidden West. I was at that one out the gate, and was somewhat disappointed on release about some of the bugs, but as a whole, the game was really good. I don't agree with a lot of this discourse about the game. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I got a lot of flack.
It got a lot of like targeted hate as soon as it came out for no fucking reason.
It was.
I forgot it came out this year. Honestly,
it was overshadowed by something else that came out this year. I don't remember. Was it?
That happened. We can say that for a lot of games, honestly.
I can't remember.
It's probably Exoprimal.
No.
We're talking about Exoprimal. Goddamn
when the first Horizon Zero Dawn came out, was the same, literally like maybe a month after Breath of the Wild came out. So it was just like it was just dumped on by Zelda.
Yep.
And something else came out this year.
Was it Zelda?
No, it was something in February. Okay. It came out in February, and something came out.
I remember this because they were like. Even the trailers, like whenever the trailer popped up for Horizon, they were like, "Oh, it got shit on by something."
It got
else.
dumped on.
Yeah, I do remember this.
Hold on, I'm gonna look at because I can't even remember.
Hogwarts.
Yes,
yep,
that's what it was.
Hogwarts,
Thank you. So Horizon Forbidden West came out, and then not only did Hogwarts Legacy come out, and that just like sucked the life out of anything online about anything gaming. But the Metroid Remaster did too.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So not a lot of people play that game. Anyways, I didn't want to keep going on that long about that game, but I did buy that one, and I enjoyed it, and I recommend it.
It matters.
It's a game I would like to play.
Have you played the first one?
I was just going to say I've not played the first one, and part of me wants to pick it.
You have it?
I have the collector's edition.
That's right.
Bought berries, I think.
Yeah, I will say I enjoyed the first game more.
I'm surprised you sold that to me.
I think they did too much in this.
I think a lot of people say that.
I wasn't a super big fan of where they went with Aloy, but it wasn't horrible. Second one, Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm. Incredible. Amazing. I wanted this game for years and years and years. Top 10. Amazing game of this year. If you don't know what it is, it's a rhythm game for Final Fantasy.
It's not exactly my cup of tea, but I played it at work with you.
It's difficult.
And it was very fun and like challenging though. And I was like, damn, this is really cool. If I could sit here and dedicate time to this, I would enjoy this. Especially being like a portable game. Like,
yeah. Like the one on the DS used to be the one where I'd like go to bed and play a little bit and then just like be done. Right before Final Fantasy 16 came out that I tried to burn through, and I can't remember what it was. But anyways, Final Fantasy 16 was in June. Nate, did you buy that day one too?
Yeah, I bought it day one.
Okay.
I shockingly walked into GameStop and bought a game, and I still
amazing.
Yeah.
Great. I had no expectations going in it, and I think it was an amazing narrative, theatrical, cinematic experience. A little lacking in some terms of combat, I suppose. I equate in technicality. It wasn't very complicated. It was kind of simple. I equate this one to Spider-Man 2. I think they're on the same level. I think
it's fair.
I think they're really, really, really good games. I think they're very good games.
And to be fair, you're going to be extra critical on it. Like, Final Fantasy is your shit. And for me, like, I don't have a lot of experience with the series. I think this is my favorite one. I think that the changes they made to the lore and try to adapt to this story. For one, the story is great. Like, I was hooked the whole time. I didn't beat it yet. I'm still playing it. But I put some time into it. And it's I bought it like the second week or whatever. Third week maybe. But I didn't get around to it. I was playing something. I don't remember. But I wanted to put time into it before the year's end. It's a fun game, man. And to take a big risk like that, like completely changing a standalone numbered game into an action game, It's most of the time that doesn't work. It kind of blows up in faces. It's a great game. Like, it's not insane to be like, hey, this is a game of the year contender at all. It's beautiful. Yeah, it might be some people's game of the year, and that's fine.
I'll talk about this one a little longer. And it's my turn.
I just want to, like, I was just bringing it up in the terms of, like, Final Fantasy 16 and Spider-Man 2 are narrative, cinematic, gorgeous. I loved every second of them.
Yeah.
And then the game ended, and there's not really much to bring me back to play it again.
That's
so
true.
They were great one-time experiences. And, like, would I go back and play Final Fantasy mode again? Not really, because there's not new content in it, and I don't think I care that much about getting a platinum. I don't think I do. I don't have the time for it. So I really loved the games. It just didn't have replayability for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, when the DLC comes out, I'll play it again. Which the DLC did come out. I did play it. It's a good 2-hour... If you like more story about Final Fantasy 16 than combat, then you won't like this new DLC because it is boss rush.
Interesting.
The story's not super deep. It is boss rush. The final boss fight was badass though.
The boss fights are a blast in
It
this
was
game.
great.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Nate.
Oh,
I figured you were gonna jump off Final
I was
Fantasy.
going to let you go through the games you played. And
Okay, yeah, okay.
roundtable it.
And then Baldur's Gate 3, which was not one I pre-ordered. I think I bought it like 2 days after. No, it was midweek after release on PC because I was gonna wait for PS5, and then I said, "Fuck this, I'm not gonna wait." So I don't buy digital games. This was like the first digital game I've like bought, like not like on sale games that came out 4 years ago. Incredible, amazing, top. Actually, I think this is. I don't even know. It's got to be top 5 for me, maybe top 3 of like my favorite games of ever.
Shit.
Just think the amount of things you can do in that game is ridiculous. I have to like pull myself away from it. Like I would go to sleep and I would wake up thinking about Baldur's Gate. So it is a time sucker. And then you'll be playing the game and you'll be just like, oh, 6 hours have passed. Oh, it's dark outside now. Oh no. And then you just go back to keep playing it. Like I'd forget to eat. It was insane.
That is crazy for you.
So I was like, this is like in the MMO days. Like, what am I doing right now?
God.
Yeah, like I was just like, oh, I guess it's time to eat. Let me go get a piece of toast and come back. I'm just like, it sounds bad, but I'm over here starving myself for Baldur's Gate 3. Like
That was me with Spider-Man because I wanted to get it done and not get spoiled. I literally took 2 days off work to play it, and I was like, no one's gonna tell me how this game is. I literally bought like a bag of nuts just to sit there and chop on nuts.
I forget, and I was like, I'm out of water. I have to get up though. I'm not doing it. So, you know, that sounds horribly unhealthy, and it was horribly unhealthy. But like, I made it through. You know, Armored Core 6. I did pre-order that one. That game is an amazing experience. I could not play that game for very long because it's rage-inducing. But for a mech game, I think that is the most impressive mech game I've played in terms of controls. Like it's kind of everything I've wanted in a combat style for mechs. Like every kind of mech suit game you play is like super slow. My eyeball's twitching. It's just super slow. It feels heavy. It's just not. So what they did with this game is really, really good, and I want to keep going back to it. And then you just keep going back, like building new suits and doing all this crazy stuff to it. And like some of the videos I've seen where I'm just like, man, I had a really hard time with that boss, and then I see someone just like slap the shit out of it in like 15 seconds, and I'm like, I guess this is the Get Good community. I don't know.
It is from Soft.
Yeah, Armored Core, and then Spider-Man 2. Which I think was great. This is a really good game.
Yeah.
Platinumed it. Am I going to go back to playing it again? No. This is a one-time experience.
There's DLC you'll get back though, right?
Yeah, when there's DLC, I'll go back for it again. But it's one of those games that, like, it's a really good game, and I had a really good time playing it, and then I'm just going to put it back on the shelf and be done. So, and then I think that's the last one.
I'm sure more will pop up as we're all talking about stuff.
No, I mean like games that I bought like day one.
Release.
I didn't play it until literally 2 days ago because I just didn't have time. But
we all got the Kick-Ass Collector's Edition though.
We did. We got the Kick-Ass Collector's Edition. There's some other stuff I played this year, like Lethal Company and stuff. Little stuff here and there, but those are like the big ones for me.
Big releases, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the most surprising, honestly, was Baldur's Gate. I didn't think Baldur's Gate was going to be like that incredible of an experience. It just kind of blew me away. And the most disappointing... Oh, Starfield.
Oh, you didn't buy the game. You bought a console for it.
I just completely forgot about Starfield because it was so disappointing, I guess. I literally bought a console so I could play Starfield because it was a decision between buying an Xbox Series X and upgrading my PC. And like to upgrade my PC would have cost me more than $500.
Right.
So I was like, no, I'll just get an Xbox for it. But yeah, Starfield was by far the most disappointing, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have various opinions on this game, but...
It's that type of game.
It is the most divisive game of the year.
It is... No, Hogwarts was.
Different reasons.
Different reasons. Starfield is everything they promise it's not there. And that's what Starfield is. It is a husk. It is a jelly-filled donut that forgot the jelly. And it's like you take a bite and then you take a second bite and you're like, man, this was supposed to be a jelly-filled donut. And like, it's still a donut and it's still good, but like, it's not what I thought I was getting into.
It's a really good way of putting it.
So like, it's just not there. And it wasn't, it could have been so good. It could have been amazing. I mean, that direct, the hour and a half direct or whatever of all the stuff that it was supposed to be, and then you actually played it, and it was just the immersion wasn't there.
We're all going to talk about Starfield for sure, but it's interesting to me. It's like I think all of us going in Starfield was like probably what we were anticipating more than fucking anything.
I think it was like 100% for all three of us the most anticipated on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been that hyped for a game in a really long time.
Mine was Final Fantasy. I was most hyped for
That's
Final
true.
Fantasy,
Yeah.
but.
I might have been Spider-Man 2 just because I'm a Spider-Man mark. But
Yeah.
Starfield,
Yeah.
for sure, was, it's up there. I love Bethesda. Like, yeah.
Like, I feel like yours was Starfield because of the connections to...
Been waiting on it for so damn long.
That's what I mean.
And like, honestly, we can get over with so we can get fucking Elder Scrolls 6 out, but...
Right. I feel like Nate's most anticipated was Starfield, yours was Spider-Man, mine was Baldur's Gate.
That's a most anticipated game?
No, I'm sorry, Baldur's Gate. Final Fantasy. I'm thinking about Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate was the most surprising to me.
Yeah, I think it kind of took thankfully, Baldur's Gate came out to kind of like fill the void for you that Starfield kind of left.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, no, I finished it before Starfield came out.
Yeah.
So
they were super hyped to like at least fill that void of like an expectation being met. You know what I mean?
I mean, I played Starfield, and there's a lot of people who like, disappointed by these games and they stop playing them. But like, I played the whole game all the way through. I dedicated to it. I said, if I want to have an opinion about this game, I'm going to play it. Because like
kudos, because a lot of people want it.
I'm not going to sit here and say games aren't good. I'll shit talk a lot of stuff. You hear me about it all the time, but I'm not going to sit here and say, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's not good or it is good. I just haven't played it.
Right.
But Starfield for me, like, I was like, if I'm going to be taken seriously, especially by Bethesda people, I'm going to have to play the game.
The game's so weird because I think it over unanimously positive when it first came out, and the more time people put into it, the community kind of flipped.
Yeah, I've got some notes on that one too.
Yeah,
it was unanimously positive by people who bought early access, and those people are the Bethesda people. Right. I didn't buy early access to that game. Yeah. I wasn't going to spend $40 extra to get it 3 days early or whatever the hell.
It's
a week early.
I bought the Constellation Edition, and we were camping, and I told Sherry, I'm like, I need to get back home.
And I think you're the one that has the best opinions about the game.
Definitely.
Probably.
Now, is that because you don't want to feel guilty for buying a shitty watch?
Oh, we felt guilty for buying collector's editions.
Even the watch was disappointing.
Yeah.
I actually wanted that thing because it looked awesome in like the packaging and whatever. And then the watch was just
Starfield.
I'll say this though,
it was the jelly donut.
The teaser for my Starfield opinions. So like, I'm sitting here looking at my notes and I'm like, I feel this way, but I don't 100% feel it. We'll get there. You know what? We'll get there.
We're okay. Anyways, that was the gist of it. Yeah. And I feel like some of that bleeds into your guys' stuff. So there's jumping off.
There's going to be overlaps for everybody.
Right.
But yeah, as far as games I picked up this year.
Oh, also, short shout out. Spawn being in Call of Duty was the coolest thing ever, but I hate Call of Duty anyways.
Sickest season pass ever, dude.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
I still run Spawn on MW3.
No doubt, like, this year was just stuffed with gaming. I think there's obviously huge releases everyone was looking forward to. There was, like, big games that kind of, like, went under the radar. I don't pick up a whole lot of games. I did pick up or play, thanks to Game Pass. There was actually some like 2023 games I played before I haven't even purchased yet, but I got to play them. So going through my list, like I'm going to start off with Starfield. It's the one like everyone was looking forward to. I really enjoyed my first 40 hours into it. Like I was sitting there singing this game's praises, talking about how great it was, and I was just doing my Bethesda quest type of thing. Once I got into, okay, now what do you do? That you got all the quests done. You beat the story. That's when my opinion pretty quickly changed. I was like, God, this is a drag trying to explore planets and stuff. I think why I had it more enjoyable, I'd say 60 hours of it, my 80-hour playthrough, like really enjoyable. I was just doing my quest, working on my character, wasn't doing the planet bullshit, wasn't exploring. When I ran out of stuff to actually do that was created by Bethesda, not a random generator, became a very different game for me very quickly. I'm not going to go on a huge rant with it, but like everything I love Bethesda's exploring their handcrafted, beautiful worlds, that was fine. It's once we got out of that. And the only thing I want to say, looking forward to the future, I'm a little worried for Elder Scrolls 6 because I don't know what it's going to be now. Starfield, I want to say, it's one of those games that I have really mixed feelings on. There's parts I really love, there's parts I fucking despise and thought it was just lazy, terrible game design. Bad game design.
I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 will be fine as long as they don't get overly ambitious.
I bet it's going to be fine in 2 years once the community gets their hands on it and fixes it.
My hopefulness for it is they're more used to this engine than they were before, even though it's kind of already outdated. It's all mechanics they already know. They're not worrying about how to make spaceships travel. It's just all shit they already know how to do. Like, that's my only hopefulness for it.
Nah, fam. Elder Scrolls 6, airships. Airships.
We'll see.
Space combat with tentacles, bro.
Overall, like my
the nautiloids are coming out.
My quick, rapid fire thoughts on Starfield. It should have been the game of the year for me. I can't sit here and honestly say it was. It had too many it's honestly like the odd experience I've had in gaming in a really long time.
I think it could have been game of the year if it didn't dunk on itself.
There's no reason it should not have been. Like, it's fucking embarrassing.
Actually,
honestly,
it could have been game of the year in about 5 years' time.
Once the community fixed it.
Yeah.
It should have been great. It should have been a system seller. It should have been a huge needle mover for Xbox. And they made their money off it, so they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
unfortunately.
Which, that's a whole other thing. All right, as far as other games, thankfully, Final Fantasy 16 filled a huge void for me this year. I like Final Fantasy. Like, that's about the most I can say about it. I really enjoyed every single one I've ever played. I'm not like a huge fan, though. I like RPGs. I saw the commercial for this game. I was like, God, this looks badass. I'm picking this up day one.
Did you pick it up day one? You walked into a GameStop and they had the deluxe edition?
Yeah, because you took off work to play it. I had to go to work, and after work, I went into a GameStop and they had a copy.
That's right, because I think I texted you and was like, bro, you have to play this game.
I saw the commercials, cause I didn't really know shit about it going in. I knew it was coming out this year, but I didn't have any hype for it.
No, there was a showcase. There was a showcase that happened very briefly prior. I do remember this conversation, and the trailer came up for it, and you were like, holy shit, this looks badass.
This looks crazy.
What is this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's Final Fantasy, and you were like, what? You were staying away from stuff. You didn't want to see anything.
I was like, I'll play because I know Barry's into it, but I was like, I saw it, so I'm going to go buy this right now. Fuck this. And it filled a huge void for me this year. Personal opinion, this was the most fun I had playing a game this year. This is probably my game of the year pick. I know it's kind of a divisive game too, weirdly. I don't understand why. It's an extremely quality game, and sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel to be game of the year, man. This delivered. I didn't have any graphical issues. I didn't have any hiccups. I didn't have any performance issues. No bugs. This game kicked ass and was a perfect experience for me. Had a blast playing it. I flew through it, which I normally don't do with games. I take my time with a lot of my games. I flew through this one because I was like, I got to see what the fuck happens next. What
is your hours when you ended up?
Similar to yours. I think it was 2 or 3 less than yours, maybe. But I did everything. I did all the side quests. I did the whole shebang.
Because I will say, I think I put the same amount of time into Final Fantasy 16 as Starfield, and it felt much faster.
I put way more into Starfield because I was trying to find something to fill a fucking void.
So that's an interesting thing of
definitely
one felt like a slog to me and the other didn't.
Yeah.
And I knew I was playing 16 for a long time, but then I was like, it's been 50 hours?
I think I got around 53, I want to say. That sounds about right.
Same as mine then.
So you got past the tutorial?
Yeah. No, I love Final Fantasy 16. It actually surprised me as much as I loved it. And it was a little different take on the whole, every single game kind of is, but it felt fresh, it felt good. I was worried it was going to be Game of Thronesy when I saw the trailer at first.
It was a smidge.
It's inspired. I don't think it's
forced at all,
ripping it off or anything, but love the characters, love the world, love the graphic style. It was a great experience for me this year. My personal pick for Game of the Year. You can disagree with me. It's fine. I don't care. I didn't pick it up because it's been on Game Pass, but MLB The Show. I want to take a moment to talk about it. It was a sports game. Yeah, well, it was the only good one that came out this year. I'll take it a step further. And I was like, I have to sit here and talk about this game for a minute. It was the only good annual release that came out this year. Every other annual release game was kind of ass this year. Call of Duty was a bomb.
Wait. When did Modern Warfare 3 come out?
Last month.
No. Okay, sorry. When did Modern Warfare 2 come out?
Last year, November.
Last November. They come out every November.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was in the spring.
We actually played it. That's why.
Later. I got it.
Oh yeah, because I got it super late. Okay.
I was like, Barry, come on, let's get this.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
I thought they released both in the same year.
I ain't doing that for 3 because it sucks.
I'll honestly say, like, the show was a little down this year compared to last year, but it was still a great game. Sony kills it with that game. I'm so thankful they put it on every platform because, like, it's a sport that everyone shouldn't have an exclusive for a sport that's like, has a huge fan base. Especially baseball's growing; it needs the help, and like putting it on every platform was very generous of them. So I love the show. It's the game I put the most time into this year overall. I'm just gonna give it high praise for being like a quality annual release because those are dying, dude. Like
FIFA sucks.
If you take it, it's just a spec of sports games. Like Madden sucked this year.
NBA sucks.
2K's on my list. We'll talk about that.
Hockey was meh.
Hockey was very meh, and it's getting worse every year. They just stopped caring. And
WWE
is kind of but way better than it's been. It's on the way up.
Which one was a real shitty year?
2 years ago, and they took a year off to like fix it.
21.
20? I don't think they did 21.
No,
I don't remember.
They did a...
One of the years they said, fuck this, we have to not make it because it's horrible. But actually, a wrestling game is on my list too. We'll talk about that one. That was also a disappointment.
With AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the show, thankfully, delivered experience. As far as annual releases, the only one I feel like they like tried. They didn't phone it in, and it showed. I put 172 hours into it. I'm still playing it, so... I did play a game I didn't buy, but it was on Game Pass day one. That was Atomic Heart. This game kind of flew under the radar. It came out right between Horizon and Hogwarts.
It was a weird time for that game because of the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Yep, and it's like a double A game too. So like it had some weird conflict built in that if you actually sit there and play it, like there's nothing to be like. It's not pro-Russia. Like for God's sakes, they're the bad guys in the game. So like
it got shafted by something out of its control.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
If you do, however, play it, it's actually a really solid, good game. My only knock on the entire... I didn't complete it. I didn't 100% it, but I put a pretty good chunk of time into it. The main character is extremely annoying. He's the biggest douchebag imaginable. And I could see why people criticize that and didn't want to play it because he just doesn't shut the fuck up and he's annoying as shit. But the world looks great. It's super cool. My wife even sat down and watched me play it because she's like, this looks really cool. This looks like BioShock. And it's honestly the closest experience I've had to playing a game since BioShock. It's very similar, thematically. It even looks like you're using your powers with one hand and guns with the other. But I thought it was a really underrated game that flew under the radar that deserves some love. So shout out to Atomic Heart, quality game. The big one for me that really flew under the radar this year that I feel like any other year could have won Game of the Year is the System Shock remake. It finally came out. The game went through development hell. It was a Kickstarter game. They got accused of stealing money. They went through 3 developers. This shit finally came out this year, and they're unanimously 9.5s and 10s across the board from every review. It ended up being way smaller scale than they originally intended, but System Shock is a beloved game. It is what basically the people that made BioShock is inspired them to make BioShock. It's
System Shock to me is a beloved game, but it's a cult game.
Definitely a cult game.
That's probably why it's got no traction.
Yeah, and this was a Kickstarter game, so it was really under the radar, but God, it was fantastic. They captured the essence of it. They put a Corvette engine in a...
Was this digital only?
Yes. Allegedly, there's enough money raised. They're doing I don't remember what they're calling it, basically collected edition where it's a remaster and the original for PS5, Xbox.
Hell yeah!
It still has not hit they're supposed to come out this year. This game went through development hell. I would imagine those are. You know what?
Nobody gave a shit because it came out in May, and Zelda just swept it under the rug.
Yeah, I think it came out right after Horizon, right before Zelda.
Yeah.
So it was in a horrible window. But the people that were waiting for it got it, and it was fucking great. I get why it wasn't in Game of the Year conversation. It's too small scale, but as far as if you like quality and expectations, it totally delivered.
Looks like its aggregate's 78.
It started off hot, but once bigger outlets got a hold of it, it's not Zelda, so But it was great. It was honestly a fantastic experience. I cannot recommend it enough. Support it so we can get physical editions, because I really want a physical copy of this game. I got 2K on my list. I'll make this one super brief. I had enough Microsoft reward points to get it for free, because I knew I wasn't spending money on this damn game. Yeah, my thoughts were correct. I only played.
Have you deleted it?
No, because I play the 5-on-5 mode, which is the least. People shit on 2K, rightfully so. It's the My Career mode that's people get angry because it's a money trap. This year especially, they added a battle pass.
2 battle passes.
You had to spend $150 basically.
Two?
Yeah,
out the gate to
at the same time.
Yeah, so
two running at the same time.
No, one's premium, so you get extra shit with it. It's
there's
like
a normal battle pass and then a premium battle pass.
There's a My Team battle pass too.
Oh my god! So there's 3.
But overall, like it's the most predatory it's ever been. Unfortunately, so there was a lot of people like I want to say I'm part of the 2K community, but I buy it every year, and there's a lot of people that decided we're going to skip it this year, and I didn't spend like any of my money on it. It's the most profitable 2K ever made already, unfortunately, because of the predatory mechanics and people can't say no. I always stick to the 5-on-5 anyways. It didn't perform well this year either. They like tried to do something different with the physics. It feels like shit. Even if you take away all the predatory microtransaction bullshit, this game still doesn't play very well. It looks worse than the last 2K game, which is like, I don't know how the hell they managed it without being a next-gen game.
Bro, we were playing NBA 2K22 for Xbox One because the servers are closing, and you're like, this literally looks better than 2K24.
I promise you it looks better. Whether you're playing on
insane.
PS5 or Series X, or like obviously PC doesn't get the next-gen port because 2K is a piece of shit, but I can't even say I was disappointed because I kind of knew it was going to be bad going in, but I wrote notes I just wrote bastards in all caps, like literally, because they're evil for that shit. 2K, they still have like a little casino you can go into.
I think casino?
Yeah, I think that's
fun.
what like triggered it. So I'm surprised to hear that even
they're like, you know what you're getting into if you walk into a casino.
No, I was gonna say I'm surprised to hear that even MLB has card packs.
That's the thing though, it gives you money in the game. I've never spent $1 on 2K.
Yeah, no,
the show.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying the pack is the fact that you don't know what you're getting inside of the pack.
Right.
It's like it's still a gambling mechanic.
Ish.
So,
but there's a thing you can. So I guess with all the other ones, you literally like there comes a point where you have to start putting money into it, or you can't play.
Well,
so like the players have contracts in FIFA, they have contracts in 2K.
I only say that for sports.
The randomness, sure,
but something like Counter-Strike's never getting rid of that.
Yeah, well,
not only Counter-Strike having crates, but they have resaleable real-world value online. It's insane to me.
Did you see that guy that rented out the Las Vegas Sphere to crack open his Counter-Strike boxes?
No.
Yeah, he was literally like projecting his Counter-Strike opens on the Las Vegas Sphere. It ain't going away anytime soon.
That kind of thing is what's wild to me. There's like just so. Anyways, I'll keep talking about double standards all day, but
I got a couple more. Fight Forever wasn't a game. AEW Fight Forever. I'm a huge pro wrestling fan of all of AEW. Like I love competition. I think it brings out the best. We talked about it earlier. Wrestling games have been down. This took forever to come out. This was designed to be a kind of a throwback, like N64 style wrestling game, which was like the golden age of wrestling video games.
I know you guys are really excited about this game.
This is my biggest disappointment this year.
Yeah.
Like, I think Starfield I still had some fun with. I put 2 hours in this game. I was pretty much done with it.
Ooh.
It was a budget game. It was only $40.
I left it to die, man.
Ooh, no.
This is a game that came out with not a lot of features attached to it that they promised they were going to support. They've left it out to die. They did add like a battle royale mode, which is really interesting, and that was pretty fun. I checked it out once. I had connectivity issues because it's an unstable piece of shit. It's shit like this that's going to cost AEW. I'm not going to go on a pro wrestling rant, but god damn it, you had a chance to do something magical and you fucking shot yourself in the foot. Ask CM Punk how he feels about it. Moving on. This was a huge year for remasters and remakes. I already mentioned System Shock. Another one that surprised us was the Quake 2 remaster. Just want to say a quick thank you, Id, for putting this out. It's lovely. Fully delivered. We got Quake 1 surprise last year. We got Quake 2 surprise this year. I'm like really hoping we get Quake 3 Arena this year. That'd be sick.
Isn't the speculation like Quake VR?
Oh god, that'd be awesome.
Right?
It'd be killer.
There's some kind of little talk about that.
It'd be killer.
They've been doing all sorts of teases with id because they've been teasing Hexen. Yeah, like
man, what that dude wearing the t-shirt? What was that guy's name?
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer. Who's Phil Spencer?
Xbox boss.
Xbox boss Phil Spencer wearing the Hexen shirt up on stage on the showcase. Everyone's like,
something.
Hexen's gonna get announced, and then like nothing ever happened out of it.
No. Well, I'll say it does the same thing, but I'm being Bethesda. They only put out shit like a couple months in advance of it releasing. They don't really advertise a whole lot in the future. Like you don't know about shit till like 3 or 4 months before it comes out.
I know they're historically known for that. But like I just think it was the Hexen t-shirt now that you mentioned
it. Got me excited.
So funny.
It was funny because they interviewed Phil and he was like, I'm really excited for what Ed's cooking, but I can't talk about it. And he kept looking down at his shirt and I was like, come on, man. I'm like, come on.
Did we even hear anything about that?
No, that's all he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We won't hear about it for
teases,
a while.
bro.
But...
I also bought Spider-Man 2. I haven't played it because I haven't finished the first one. It was a chore for me to finish the first one, if I'm being really honest, which I know is like not a popular opinion here. I did not really think it's a bad game, but I don't think it's necessarily a good game. I think it's the most average game I've played in a really long time. Like,
unpopular opinion, I think Miles Morales was the best of the 3.
I've heard that, actually. I've heard it's like a little more concise and clear directed. Yeah. So I haven't played. I'm going to finish it. I love Spider-Man as a character. I love comic books. So I did buy 2, got it in advance, but like, it's going to take me a while to get through the first one. So I'll eventually play it. It's just something that like... Yeah. So as far as like I actually purchased and played, that's it. Obviously, there's stuff that came out that I didn't get to that we'll talk about. But like, Bryan, how about you?
Yeah, just a full disclosure. This was probably the most impactful and biggest year in gaming in a long time.
No doubt.
Everybody knows about the Game of the Year conversation. There's heavy hitters in there. But I want to give a quick shout out. There was a lot of AA games released this year that just got swept over because there was so much fanfare for these
AA games are kind of back, bro.
Honestly, this year kind of did it.
I will say a lot of the reasons why we might not talk about them so much is those types of games aren't coming to physical.
True.
So I'm less inclined to buy them.
Yeah.
Wait for them to be on sale.
Yeah.
Next year.
But there was a lot. I would say this year, I mean, obviously huge AAA games. Like I'll gloss over some of them I picked up, but I definitely took some time to highlight some second tier games that not everybody else was talking about. I want to go over disappointments first, though. Just get negative stuff out of the way. AEW is on my list. They sent that game to die. I'll never forgive them because
should have been a game changer.
Yeah, it really should have.
Wasn't it supposed to like be the competitor for WWE?
No, it's supposed to be different. It's supposed to play like
even worse.
So really quick, I don't want to steal your thunder, Bryan, but like the 2K games are like super simulated. They're super intimidating. They're hard to control. Like unless you're a master at that game, the old wrestling games, wrestling was huge in the 90s. Grandma could pick it up and play with you and just beat some ass. This game was supposed to kind of go back to that where it's like simple, but learn the hook of it, and it's kind of like just to be able to pick up, play it. I don't want to pick it up and play. It's the problem.
Oh,
there's just not a lot of meat on the bone. There's DLC being released for it, but it's like a couple characters for an egregious price.
Predatory.
Ugh.
It is. It's
fucking
just
$20 for tag teams.
It wasn't done in the oven, man.
Look, man, until they bring back SmackDown 2008.
Dude,
this game was the shit. Love those games.
Anyways.
But yeah, big disappointment for me. I don't want to beat a dead horse. Nader talked about it. I didn't get to play it because I didn't want to play it. Just everything they showed me for Mortal Kombat 1 was pretty disappointing. I'm a big Mortal Kombat guy.
You bought it?
I didn't buy it because I was disappointed in how it looked and just watching it.
I was about to say, I cannot believe the combo, the brokenness of that game after it coming out.
I'm so disappointed in that game.
Incredible.
Because initially I saw the trailers. I'm like, oh, they're kind of doing a reboot. Like, whatever. I can live with that. And then I saw the mechanics of it. I'm like, this doesn't look like Mortal Kombat. Like, what about this other than the characters?
Like, thank God we got Street Fighter this year to like fill the fighting game void, but I'm just not a huge Street Fighter guy.
No.
Heard Street Fighter was really,
supposed to be fantastic.
Good. Yeah.
Thankfully.
I don't love Street Fighter.
It's the same. I didn't buy it because I'm not a huge Street Fighter guy.
I will say that one got Fighting Game of the Year, and I heard it was well deserved.
Well deserved from what I've seen.
Yeah. I pass them all combat. I usually always buy them because even like Sherry and I will play them. I have an arcade cabinet for God's sake. I just can't do it this time.
Did you play Street Fighter?
I did not.
Okay. I know people were really hesitant on that game because they were saying it was open world.
It's one I want to pick up.
And people were really confused by that, but I've heard nothing but praises for that game.
Yeah. I just want Injustice 3. I think we all want that.
I also want Marvel vs. Capcom 4 to actually be good instead of Infinite bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, another disappointment, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. I put so much time into Modern Warfare 2. It got me back in the COD. I bought it for Barry so like we could play it. I absolutely adore that game. MW3 takes everything you love about Modern Warfare 2 and says, fuck this, we're getting rid of it. And in some ways, it feels more like a traditional Call of Duty, how fast it is. You've got classic maps. It's just not what I like anymore. Like
800 shots to kill you.
Yeah. I mean, there's no consistency. The spawns are broken, and it hasn't gotten any better since release.
Sound design's terrible.
They're too worried about releasing
the price for a reskin game.
They're too worried about releasing cosmetics instead of fixing the game, and it is the biggest disappointment. I haven't played 3 nearly as much. I've been playing Zombies. Zombies is a blast. Zombies is getting free to play. So.
I just wish at this point they would look. The Call of Duty campaigns have been good in the past. Okay, it's not what people play the game for. Just get rid of it. Just put a little. Just put that in a boat and push it off and shoot the fire arrow into it. And just make a Call of Duty live service game with a hub like they've already got, and just put some expansions out.
Please don't give them ideas.
Focus on the cosmetics because that's all you guys focus on anyway. So just like stop disappointing us with releases.
I hear what you're saying. And that's honestly the damn shame with this game because the campaign for 2 was great. The campaign for Modern Warfare 1 was great. This campaign was shit, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Put it in the boat with the hay and shoot the arrow and send it off.
It did it once.
Just let it go.
Yeah,
it didn't work out well.
Black Ops. That's the thing. There's no excuse not to do a campaign. You've got a 3-year development cycle. You've got 7 to 9 studios working on it.
No, they've got a 1-year development cycle now. They
Tiny
can cut.
studio.
They can cut the 2 years off because they reuse the assets.
Small studio, no money.
I should have
A little indie studio. I don't think you guys have ever heard of them before.
Yeah. For an indie studio.
A little indie game.
But yeah, that's the thing. I think my personal opinion about MW3, and then we'll move on, is I think they listen to streamers and shit too much instead of people that actually play it and buy your game. They slide cancel and all that bullshit. Guess how many people actually fucking use it? Only if you're trying to look cool and you're jamming the Y button.
I don't even know what a slide cancel is.
It's just bullshit. They're too concerned
You
with
can
what...
slide in that game?
Yeah. You can
How
cancel
often I
now.
used it.
Exactly. It's just like, I love the boots on the ground, the heaviness of Modern Warfare 2. And then to sit there and just like, oh, speed it up. And that's the thing. It breaks the game because like there's a certain perk you can get without getting too technical. It's like a fast draw pistol across your chest. The animation's broken in Modern Warfare 3 because it's so fast. Like, it doesn't work. The animation just skips and then you're down sight.
I feel like that's why people didn't like Black Ops 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it got too fast.
Yep. And this tried to do the same
Didn't
thing.
feel like Call of Duty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up. I heard Bryan.
I can't recommend it.
I like Call of Duty. I've played them all since the beginning, and Bryan was like, hey, avoid. And I was like, okay.
I'll say this. Modern Warfare Zombies is going free to play, and I play zombies more than anything. I don't even like zombies. I don't like Call of Duty Zombies. This one's a blast, though, and it's going free to play. Play that. As far as gaming events I was disappointed in, a lot of server closures this year.
Oof.
A lot of classic 360, PS3 server closures. Classic games.
Send off to the Wii U and DS.
It's going to keep coming,
It's gone.
unfortunately.
Goodbye.
With the announcement of the 360 store closure. It's going to keep happening. Enjoy the games of the past while you guys can.
Did they not put any of those on the Game Pass?
Some of them are. Yeah.
Why are they getting rid of all of them?
They're just going to close for sale. So if you still have it, they said peer-to-peer servers are still going to work for the time being, but they're going to pull sale for these games unless it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One store. I'm going to cover some of the big games I played really quick, and then I want to spend more time on some of the B-tier games because you can go anywhere and hear about these. But I do want to share my thoughts, starting with Final Fantasy 16. Again, I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy at all, but this one for a casual like me, I guess I'm a casual gamer. I play Call of Duty. I thought it was a great game, man. Pleasantly surprised.
Did you finish?
I'm not done, no. I have been kind of taking my time with a little bit with this one.
I'll ask you
Like
later where
7?
you're at.
Yeah, I'm not done with 7. Anyway.
Bro.
Well, that's the thing. I think I'm going to play this one first. And then
You in Final Fantasy is Nate and Spider-Man.
No, I didn't like Spider-Man. I'll say it. Like, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I did not care for that. I think it's the most overrated game I've ever played.
All right.
I'll throw it out there.
All right.
But yeah, I can't say praises enough about the narrative of this game. Like, I was hooked. If it was like literally watching the cinematics and watching a show, I would sit down and watch it. I think the story is that engrossing. The characters are that interesting.
I don't even care if some of the cutscenes were dumb long. I was like, oh.
No doubt.
No, it was definitely just admiring the story and the narrative. I think the setting was really cool because I'm not even into like swords and sandals and shit, but like the medieval aspect of it, it was a different take on Final Fantasy. And honestly,
anytime anybody says swords and sandals, I lose it because that shit's so funny.
yeah,
Bryan gives me a lot of shit with swords and sandals.
I will say people are very excited for this because it brought it back to Final Fantasy 9 because we haven't had real like medieval Final Fantasy since
the
then.
thing is, the game took a lot of risk, and I applaud developers for that, especially with your crown jewel of Final Fantasy. Like for them to be like, yeah, let's just do something different. Let's kind of mix it up. Like hats off to Square. It's a great game.
Yoshi P's been doing that for years, and the man can do no wrong. So
He kills it. I had one quick thought on Final Fantasy I didn't get out. I'm sorry. I liked 16 so much. It made me, and not because it wasn't a good game, but I liked 16 so much I'm less excited for 7 Part 2 than I was before.
Interesting.
Because like,
oh no,
I know you ain't.
it's gonna be great.
I don't have like the hooks of the original 7. Like I've only really, I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong, but I liked 16 better.
I'll probably second that. I don't have the nostalgia for 7. I think the characters are more interesting. I think the setting's more interesting, but that's just, my personal opinion.
I think 16 had the better story.
Yeah.
7 has the better characters.
7's got better characters, but
much better
Party
characters.
for sure, yeah.
they're less realistic too.
I think Clive and Joshua and a whole bunch of like the iconic characters are really interesting, but they don't weave a web together very well. So I just think 7 is a better party example.
No party.
The story is convoluted as fuck.
Yeah.
So 16's story is way better.
My whole thing with 16's like the way it took existing like Final Fantasy lore and kind of presented it in a new light, knocked it out of the park. Like I'm in the kaiju and shit, and this is almost a kaiju game in a weird way.
It was so cool to be like, hey,
so
this core element of the entire series, the 4 crystals, like bringing it back to, Final Fantasy 1, where it's like the crystals of light is like what gives this world power, and we have to save them, and we can't destroy them, and it'll put us in a darkness. And then this game rolls back and was like, nah, fam, we're tired of that shit. We don't want it no more. We're destroying them all. We're gonna fight all these summons off. Fuck this. It was badass.
I think when you played it, you had a comment, and it's like really stuck with me because I'm like, I agree. Like this is the most Final Fantasy game to me. Like
it's Final Fantasy as hell.
That's what you're supposed to do. It's supposed to be standalone. Like loved it. Best voice acting of the year. Best.
It took everything you expected from a Final Fantasy game and just turned it on its head.
It's great.
And it was amazing.
I'm not huge on Final Fantasy. I don't know a lot. This game was great. It's definitely top 5, top 4 game of the year for me. Also, I want to cover Spider-Man. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan.
Let's get into it.
I'm biased.
Let's get into it.
I don't want to. I'm spoiler free also because I know people haven't played it, but there's big story changes they make to characters in this game. I don't hate it. I'm usually a traditionalist when it comes to Spider-Man. I think all the changes they make in this universe, awesome. Everybody knows Venom's in the game.
There were some interesting changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think most of them work. I will say, this is the coolest version of Venom you're ever going to see. This is literally everything you love about the character combined into one Venom, and he's so fucking cool, and I can't hype him up enough for you, Nate.
We were talking about it before this podcast, and I said this game was presented very Kraven heavy.
Yeah.
But it is a Venom fan's wet dream.
Agree,
you were going to
100%.
see stuff in here that you did not think you were going to see. And
I'll
you were just
say
like,
this
oh, that's in it? Oh, that's in it?
It's
and there's that?
It goes deep with the Venom
Yeah,
cuts.
it does.
Like modern lore, traditional lore, like it is, Venom Wet Dream is a great way to put it.
There's
Tony Todd
more
does the
Donny
voice, it's
Cates in
fucking
here
cool.
than I ever thought there was going to be.
Same.
Yeah.
There's more modern Spider-Man lore, honestly, but I don't want to spoil the game. Just, play it, beat it. And that's another thing, too. I flew through this game. I did this in 2 settings, took time off work, and I loved every minute of it. Honestly, I think stretching it out, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much because I didn't want to get spoiled. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Motherfuckers permanently tattooed on my body. Like, I love Spider-Man. But some highlights for this game. I appreciate how it changed enough with the combat. It wasn't so gadget heavy. It was ability focused instead. And when you're playing like a superhero, like gadgets, I don't want to play Batman. If I'm playing Batman, I'll play with gadgets because he has no fucking powers.
I will say, yeah, the gadgets felt like a supplement. Like, you can use the gadgets, but they didn't really they weren't very effective unless you combo them with abilities.
Spider-Man 2 was more like ability focused instead of like, let me throw my little spider bots out like the first game was.
Oh, I still use the hell out of the gadgets, but like if I didn't have an ability to combo with them, they're useless.
Right.
So
Spider-Man, he's not Iron Man. He's supposed to be street level.
Yeah,
Right.
there's some
This one does a
problems.
better
I have
job of
problems
it.
with Spider-Man. I'm sorry.
There's some problems I have with this.
This one does a better job of it, I'll say that.
I don't know about that, but
Give me Arkham City all day.
And I'll say this, it never gets old. Like if you're doing a random crime and Miles or Peter comes in and helps you,
Oh, that's sick.
goosebumps every time, bro. Look at that. Look at that. Every time, dude. Just thinking about how cool it was and just like seeing both Spider-Man interact with each other in a living world.
it wasn't even just him. Other
sick.
characters would come in too that you would meet.
Yeah.
You would go to a little alert, and then all of a sudden, like they'd swing in and start beating guys up, and you could do like finisher combos together. It was pretty cool.
Is there a Square Avengers crossover?
No.
R.I.P. Square
I'll say
Avengers.
this too about the game performance-wise. It was one of the first games I played. I'm like, wow, this feels like it's my PS5's doing something or my Series X is doing something. It felt next gen in performance.
I disagree.
I know Barry had a different experience
I
than me.
disagree.
It seems like it has some universally across the board. People are having very different experiences with it. I don't think it's like
I'll
a
say this.
standalone
So
thing at our table.
I bought a new TV when these consoles came out. It's 8K, 120 hertz. I got to pump this thing out to the max. I got to use it.
I remember
for
when you
once.
bought
Yeah.
that, and we were like, "Bro, what?" And you were like, "I'm future proofing, man. I'm future proofing."
Well, that's the thing. The disappointment is literally Call of Duty and Fortnite and Spider-Man, the only 3 games, and then Gears of War multiplayer are the only games that work with it so far. So actually pumping up the max settings and like letting her rip, it's great. And
He bought that TV the second they announced the Series X would support it.
literally,
You went out and got it.
yeah. So it was nice to use that, and then the load times are non-existent. The transitions are great.
I did notice some
I had some graphical errors.
loading.
Yeah. Oh, really?
You could tell where it was. They would try to mask it. Their
Yeah.
masking was very good,
Yeah, I agree.
but I could tell. I would have the little symbol pop up And it was mostly after the missions where you'd go onto the map and you'd do the mission, and then once you were out of the mission, it would be...
Or like Miles changes clothes until like...
It would be the spider sitting there, and you have to sit there and wait for the call to like finish, and you had to wait for the little XP bar to finish, and you could like pause it, but you couldn't fast travel. And it was like, fast travel unavailable until the end of the mission, or this call is finished. And I'm like... There's your loading assets.
They did a good job of hiding it.
But they did a very good job hiding it.
And the fast travel is cool, even though I never used it just to try it because I heard about how fast it was. It is seamless.
You didn't use it?
I used it to try it, but I wanted to swing, bro. Like, come on.
Oh, I thought it was the coolest. So, it
was very cool, though.
This is actually the coolest implementation of fast travel I've ever had in a game. Because you have the full map. And so there's sections, there's like the cities that are squared off, and you can pick any section of that city and pinpoint it and then fast travel right to that spot on the map. It would kind of adjust you to a street, so you could like, it would swing in and you would be able to like fly in or swing in. But like if you wanted to go in a very specific intersection, you could go there.
That's really cool.
It was really cool. And it was very fast and it was seamless too.
Yeah, I thought the story was great. There's some things I didn't love that they changed, which I won't spoil for you. Hit us up with the Discord. I'll talk to you there about it. But yeah, great. I think it's they played it safe, which is fine. After talking to Barry about it, like you're 100% right. Not every game needs to sit there and do something revolutionary. You make a fun game with a good story, I'll play it. You throw Spidey in it, I'll definitely play it.
I really want to like it.
I think you'll like 2 a lot better.
I think there's a lot of problems that I have with this game, and I think, Nate, you'll agree. But
probably.
Why? And I couldn't get past this a lot of the times, but like, why is Peter Parker struggling to keep a job? And he has, his mortgage is $4,000 past due, but somehow can afford the materials to build all of his gadgets and Spidey stuff, and like, you gotta know that everything, like are you telling me his web shooters are so strong that they can pull up a train and the materials that he needs to make those aren't expensive?
I think the first problem is...
Where does he get the money for it?
High school lab.
This is not my favorite version.
He gets him in a lab. Is he in college still, or is he like graduated?
He's graduated.
Oh, God.
He's out of college. And Miles is about to be out of high school.
Dr. Connor just loaning him the supplies from the university.
No, he doesn't have a job at any lab anymore.
I do have some issues with the story.
Where is he getting the money? You pull up, there's a point in the game where you pick up his bill for his mortgage, and it says the amount owed.
Iron Man spotting him.
And then Mary Jane's like, hey man, I'll spot you, like, don't worry about it, you don't have to sell the house or anything. This is a broke bitch, and he still has the money somehow to pay for Spider-Man
stuff. Because they're trying to do like the Parker luck thing, right? It was the biggest Spider-Man villains, the Parker luck.
Sure.
They're trying for it. It doesn't work sometimes. Some of the symbiote stuff doesn't work, but you know what?
Like this, Peter.
We gotta move on.
My biggest knock about this game is it went way too technology heavy.
I hate that shit with Spider-Man.
Way too much. It went more than the first
Spider-Man.
game.
I hate that shit with Spider-Man.
There's some beef. MCU ruined
Nick
Spider-Man.
Spencer bullshit. Like, I hate that shit with Spider-Man.
It was believable in the MCU when, like, Peter had to, like, do what he needed to, and he was very smart, but it was only, like, realized when Tony Stark started giving him shit. Like, you got a billionaire funding you. Like, yeah, I can believe that you probably have the ability to get these things, but, like, where is Insomniac Peter Parker getting the money for this shit?
I really want to like these games. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna play the first one this year, so I can.
This was worth a play, man. It was top 3 game of the year game.
Secondly, where's Miles getting the money for this? His mother is a councilwoman. They ain't got money enough for that.
All those numbers are fake anyways as far as budget.
Where was the Prowler getting money for all of these secret super stash bases across the city that had crazy locks and lasers?
He could have stole it.
Anyways, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I thought Spider-Man was a good game.
I just wanted to put that out there, Nate. I agree with you.
Yeah, Spider-Man's a good game.
I hate the gadgets.
Yeah,
the gadgets are too much.
Me, Batman.
It was top 5 for me this year. It was a good game. Nothing inherently wrong with it. I think doesn't have to reinvent the wheel.
I'm just bringing up plot holes.
I'm going to bring up Starfield, and then I do want to focus on some AA games because that's what my list primarily is. Starfield, honestly, it's the most fun I had this year. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm also not blind to the issues that this game has.
Did you like Starfield more than Spider-Man?
Yeah. Starfield's my game of the year. I know. Here's the thing, though.
I'm speechless.
I know. I play games to have fun, and I'm still
35 hours. I'd honestly agree with you.
I'm 70 hours into it. I'm still having fun, man. It's the most simplistic Bethesda game. I'm not going to sit here and say there's not issues with it.
They made Skyrim more complex.
I have issues with it. It's to me, the New Game Plus was creative. I love sci-fi. It's like a sci-fi open-ended wet dream. You can just kind of do whatever the fuck you want. I think people's issues with the game, it's not the game they wanted. And that's a fair criticism. Like, all the criticism for this game is 100% fair. It's still the most fun I had this year.
I want to say, I can't remember, don't quote me, but I think Swoosh is the one that said it is a sandbox game with no sand.
Yeah. Like I said, I 100% understand the criticism. They want you to add your own sand to it.
2 miles wide and an inch deep.
I don't think it's done, quite frankly, either. Like, it's not a finished game. That being said, it's the most fun I had playing a game this year.
There was great moments.
That's
in it.
surprising.
Yeah.
It's very surprising.
Honestly, I can sit there and say there's moments for me too.
Because I'm a casual gamer, it was fun just to pick up and play. But no, honestly,
no, I'm just surprised that you had more fun playing that than Spider-Man.
I really did.
Like, knowing you.
Yeah, no, it's as I said, I've real weird mixed. That's what I'm saying. Like I was saying, it's the most fun I had playing a game this year. I'm still playing it.
Starfield was that girlfriend that was abusive to you emotionally, but it was fire.
Bro.
That's the thing. Like, I was playing so much Starfield. Sherry bought a Series X for the bedroom so I could spend time with her and play Starfield still.
And I'm over here taking Galactic Cat pictures. Like, that's the enjoyment I got out of it.
That's the thing with this game is...
Look, don't touch.
No, like, you do get what you put into it in a weird way, but you can exceed that limit also. Like, you can be like, all right, I've done everything, now what? I 100% understand and, quite frankly, agree with all the criticisms for this game. But...
Yeah, I feel like it's a complex game, like, as far as... how you feel about it. And I don't think anyone's wrong for feeling how they feel about this game.
I agree.
I'll defend anyone's opinion even if it doesn't agree with mine about this game, because people got like really divisive about it and mean. Like, no, it's a game that is going to evoke that type of emotion in you. Like, it was huge expectations, and overall, like, they didn't quite deliver what the masses wanted, and that's totally worth defending people's criticism. Like, I like Bethesda still. I'm mad at them, but like, I'm going to defend your right to love the game or hate the game.
I see both sides so clearly.
I think this game is absolutely, you can have your own opinion about it. And if you don't like the game, that's great. And if you do like the game, that's great. And I'm just surprised Bryan didn't like this as much as Spider-Man. Or he did like this more than, I don't know. I'm surprised you liked it more than Spider-Man.
Me too. I know you love sci-fi, but
I think
what brought me back to it was the fun.
I think the problem with this one specifically is it turned into, well, this game is better than this other game, or this game is better than this other game. And like, that's what this whole year was like, this game was better than this.
Why are you pointing that?
This game was better than that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, oh, this game didn't win and it was better than this. And I'm like, okay, well, have you played every single game in the nominations?
Right.
No, you haven't. And
haven't
until you
either.
do, I don't care.
Right. And that's my thing. That's what really propelled this for me is like, what game did I have the most fun playing this year?
That was the problem with a lot of games this year, is it brought out a lot of people who only come out for those games.
Right. Toxic ass year.
Yeah. So it was very hard to maneuver.
But I'm going to stay positive and focus on AA games because I want to shout these out really quick. Diablo 4, thoughts? You like that? Wait till I get to that title. But no, honestly,
B tier.
Base campaign for Diablo 4, outstanding. Love it. Vanilla Diablo 4 is a shit.
I'm waiting for Game Pass.
Everything released afterwards is dog shit. I hate the seasons.
The beta?
I hate
the beta was
world.
good?
No, you said the campaign.
No, the actual like vanilla Diablo 4 at launch, like the campaign, not the
Yeah, but didn't they have like 3 launches?
Yeah.
That's the problem. They got all the reviews out and everyone's like, this is really good. And then once that came out, they said, surprise.
It was like early access. It wasn't even like a launch.
They turned Diablo into a live service game. There's seasons and shit in Diablo now.
I know there is, but what I'm saying is like everybody was super impressed. That was a problem with this one specifically, is they released it as early access for like a month, and that's what people like.
Yeah.
It wasn't like advertised as released as early access,
They didn't
but
have
it wasn't an official release. It was released, but it wasn't an
They
official
didn't
release.
have the store open yet for
Yeah,
review
and so they
period.
all did
So
the
it
reviews
reviewed
on this
great.
game that
Yeah.
wasn't even fully out yet,
Yep.
and then they were like, surprise Pikachu face when the rest of it came out.
Yep.
I'm just like, did you guys think they were going to change their tune?
Remember
No,
last time?
they tricked
fucked
you.
Y'all remember last time? Like, I didn't fall for it. I didn't buy Diablo 4 because I wasn't falling for it.
Y'all forget Diablo 3?
It's worth playing the campaign.
Come
for.
on now.
Story's great. If you're into Diablo lore like I am, it adds a lot to the lore.
I'll check it out when it hits Game Pass.
Yeah, borrow it. Fuck it. Like, it's worth a play. Like, it's fun to play co-op in the campaign, and then just don't play any season shit because it's horrible. Pikmin 4, absolute blast. Love the additions they made to it. Ochi's such a good boy. It's fun to play co-op with. Sherry and I had a lot of fun playing Pikmin 4. Also, the game I want to highlight more than anything because it was in my Game of the Year discussion, and I'm
Like
probably...
a Dragon Ishin.
Yes! Hell yes, dude, because I've been waiting on this game for a long time. I'm a huge fan of the series. For you guys that don't know, it was originally released in Japan only on a PS3.
Sorry, is that game on Game Pass?
It is now, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Worth it, dude. Guys,
Okay.
The story's awesome. Like, the story's great. It's based on a historical character in real life. Obviously, they take liberties to make it, a video game.
Your talk of this game has had me put
Y'all should give it a play.
My playlist.
Even if you don't really love the Yakuza games, this one does enough where I always say it takes a step in the backwards direction in the best way possible. So like Yakuza 5, Yakuza 6, a lot of the beefs, like there's only 2 styles of combat. This has 4. You can do a sword, you can do fists, so it plays like traditional Yakuza if you want it to.
Are they more hack and slash, or are they more beat 'em ups still?
Combo?
This one's kind of like a...
So like a dragon?
Beat 'em up, yeah, so now it's turn-based.
So it's turn-based?
It is now. This one here is plays like traditional beat 'em up style.
Okay, do these new ones play anything like the old Yakuza games?
8 does not.
So there's 2 series going on now. There's one that's
3.
The mainline Yakuza series does not play like traditional Yakuza. The spin-offs play like traditional Yakuza.
It's turn-based combat.
Because I was under the impression that Like a Dragon was the mainline.
So yeah, Like a Dragon 7, and that one plays... Yeah, they changed the name from Yakuza to Like a Dragon, basically.
And that doesn't play anything like...
That one's turn-based. But 8 is going to have turn-based, or if you're playing as Kiryu, it's going to have traditional...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude, 8's my most anticipated game of the year, but we'll get there.
Okay, interesting.
No, so this one, it changes up because you get 4 different fighting styles. So, you can use a sword, you can use a gun and a sword, which is a fucking blast. And the story is great. It's
so,
not connected, kind of, without the zombies and shit. But it's not, there's the thing, it's the perfect jumping on point. If I had to recommend how to get into this series, I would start people here because it's not related at all. You can play it between games, you can play it before, you can play it after.
So you'd say Inshin before Like a Dragon? Because
yes.
I heard Like a Dragon was the new starting point.
Yeah, it is for the Yakuza games, but this is unrelated, so you can literally play it whenever you want. And if you don't love the combat and shit, no harm, no foul, because it doesn't play like that anymore. This was for people that don't like turn-based combat, like me, being like, hey, you can play your original Yakuza-style games, but also there's 4 fighting styles, man. And the story's great, the sub-story's great. I beat it, I love it. I'm still going for my 100%. I'm about 85% right now. Some of the mini games are difficult. But I can't praise this game enough, man. I think it's the best, Yakuza / Like a Dragon game to come out forever. I just literally can't say enough good about this game. It feels like a 360 PS3 game in the best way possible. I'm not talking about presentation or whatever, but feeling like traditional Yakuza combat. It's great. I love this game so much. It's in my top 5 game of the year. Everybody should play it. It's on Game Pass now. Give it a shot. I can't say enough good things about this game. Also, really quick, I want to talk about Exoprimal, because it's in this weird middle ground of disappointed, but I also had no expectations going in.
It's a perfect Game Pass game.
I put about 30 hours into it, believe it or not. But there's something about it where it's I'll just do a run. Whatever, I'll jump in and play a couple rounds. It's on Game Pass. I cannot say do not pay $70 for this fucking game. Do not pay $70. If you have a Game Pass membership, check it out. It's fun just to kill some dinosaurs and laugh, and then it gets very repetitive after the first 10 hours. But first 10 hours, I was singing praises for this game.
If it's a $40 game, would you recommend it?
30.
Yeah, because I'm kind of waiting for a price cut before I pick it up.
It's physical now, too, because it started out digital only, but now it's physical, but I'm not paying $70 for
I have a feeling that's going to be one that goes on sale very, very quickly.
When the server's going to get shut down sometimes.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish the achievements before it leaves Game Pass, because I don't think it's going to last. But again, they left it to die. They haven't supported it very well. They did their Street Fighter crossover. There's a Monster Hunter crossover coming out in January or February.
I know, you tried. You told me about it. You showed me pictures.
You got Game Pass, bro.
Tried.
Now is next year's the time. When we talk about games we're looking forward to in 2024, you're going to be like Exoprimal because of Monster Hunter.
No.
It's free.
Absolutely not. They put Final Fantasy VII in Apex Legends and still can't get me to play that game.
I didn't know that. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Buster Sword and all, bro.
Damn.
Can't do it.
But another game that I was anticipating because it's been out for PC for a long time, and it was on Game Pass also. It's called The Wild the Angler. It's the best fishing game I've ever played. It's the most casual, and it's also the most simulated. It's the perfect middle ground between both. It's co-op, so you can literally take a buddy and fish. Been trying to work on these two to play this also.
Big backlog this year, man, but I want to play it with you.
That's the thing. There is a huge backlog, and I understand, but a lot of AA games this year, man. This game is so solid. It's not even funny how solid.
All right, look. Christmas Eve, I'll load that game up and I'll go fishing with you as a Merry Christmas gift. I'll get in the boat with you since I'm getting kicked out of work early.
Nate, you should jump on too.
Oh
Christmas Eve, bro.
I've got shit to do.
Christmas Eve.
I guess as of the point of this came out,
it's
already
New
been
Year's.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's January 1st, guys, remember?
Hypothetically.
This is January 1st.
Yeah.
Brian and I went fishing on Christmas Eve.
My brain's a little too much G fuel. My brain.
Anyway, no, that was me.
But yeah, there was a lot of great B tier games this year. Also, I feel like it was a year of remakes. We got Dead Space, we got Resident Evil,
all sorts, dude.
Metroid Prime, so many, but they're all solid. I mean, for the most part, I feel like this year developers were like, oh shit, we do need to like, put some effort into this, because then if you don't, you get things like Metal Gear, which was also on my disappointment list.
Yeah, dude. I didn't even pick it up.
I think developers are starting to pay attention. If you take these beloved properties, you've got to put some TLC into them instead of just cash cowing it, because you're going to get shit on if you cash cow it.
What they did to that Metal
What
they did to that Metal Gear one was unforgivable. Like putting that shitty ass PAL version of Solid on there, like, you bums.
No, man. All they got to do is say, "Hey, man, don't expect our games to be this good," and it's forgiven.
There were so many games this year I wanted to play, but there's just
I have a whole list of ones I want to. Yeah.
Big one that comes to mind is Resident Evil 4 remake. I love the Resident Evil series. I usually play them with Sherry watching because she's scared of zombies. I shit you not, which is fine. So I'm like, hey, we'll play together because she likes watching them. I didn't get to play 4. I have it. Haven't played it, but probably going to relatively soon. Mario Wonder. I love traditional Mario, and I just keep hearing about how great this game is and the praises from it. I really want to check it out. Another B tier game, RoboCop Rogue City looks awesome.
Yeah, that's on my list for sure.
I'm a huge fan of the movie. Like, I really want to check that out because it looks like it's so faithful. Like a Dragon Gaiden. I haven't played it yet, and I keep forgetting about this game because it came out. It's digital only, I think, is part of the problem. It was day one on Game Pass.
Is that the no man whatever one? Okay.
Yeah, it's the bridge between, it's setting up 8 basically. So like I want to play it before 8 comes out. But yeah, there's just too many goddamn games this year, man. I wanted to check out Hellboy, another B tier game.
We're talking about games that are coming out this year we want to look at?
I'm talking about games that I didn't get to play this year that I really wanted to.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, Hellboy looks beautiful, but I know better than spending full price on it.
Yeah, well, it's on sale right now for $20.
It looks fucking awesome.
Is it digital or physical?
Digital only, unfortunately.
But it captures Mingola's art so perfectly. Like, I'm a huge comic book fan, so I really
want to
play
last
that.
voice acting performance of God, what's his name?
Lance
Riddick was in it, I believe.
It's his last performance, so which is
well, it's hard to say if it was actually that or something in Destiny.
That's true.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't really know what they've got him up in Lightfall, or not Lightfall.
Whatever the fuck's going on with Destiny right now.
Fucking whatever the fuck that was.
All 12 people working on it.
Yeah, Destiny's a whole thing.
And then lastly, I want to touch on, I didn't get to play Alan Wake 2. I love the first one. I've heard nothing about how great this game is.
I'm going to go back and try and play the first one.
Remember you didn't care for it.
I didn't, but I'm going to play the remaster.
Oh, that's right. I loved the first one.
Same.
I was holding out for physical versions while I didn't buy this game yet, but looks like I'm not going to ever happen.
I don't think it's going to.
They said it, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it. This is like it and Baldur's Gate 3 are the big two for me that came out this year I didn't get to play.
Honestly, Baldur's Gate 3, everyone keeps talking about it. I'm a little more reluctant just because I don't love turn-based, but like I gotta check this out.
Did you like playing Fire Emblem?
Loved Fire Emblem.
Okay. He likes tactic games, though.
It's very tactical.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Let's go.
It has a lot of stuff in it.
Thank God. Okay.
It's very,
I was just scared of like dice roll.
very
Oh,
tactical.
you suck. It's not my interest, but that sounds way more up my alley. Okay.
You're honestly not even dice rolling that much stuff. You're not you're dice rolling like the decisions here and there is like a fun little thing, but the game will dice roll for you in combat. You don't have to dice roll everything.
Nice.
The whole game's not dice rolls.
It's weird, I'll say this. As much as people talk about Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know a lot about Baldur's Gate 3 other
you don't
than
need to
really
know
good.
anything about
all I hear.
I went in completely blind.
Nice.
I'm trying to
I played 1 and 2 like years and years ago, but it's
not
been
the same.
Yeah.
There is some stuff that is referenced in 1 and 2,
Surprising.
like events that happen, but it's kind of completely disconnected.
Nice.
So you don't need to know anything about anything.
Yeah.
At all. It explains everything for you.
Well, whenever this physical edition gets here, that's probably the first game I'm playing next year.
Like
I've only seen the memes where it's like, this is actually Divinity. It's not even Baldur's Gate. But there's just really bitter people out there. So,
but yeah.
If you like tactical games, you will like the combat in
Thank
this.
God.
Some of them are very long and can take a long time for you to do it.
I prefer the tactical more than, heal, attack, heal, attack, heal. I like movement and stuff, so it's good. All right. That kind of excites me a little bit.
It is go here, decide what you want to do. It's like chess.
What about you, Barry? What some games that you missed that you wanted to play this year just for whatever reason, time constraints?
I'll be brief so we can talk about podcast stuff, but something I missed that I wanted to play this year was Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah,
I forgot it came out.
I do want to play Super Mario RPG.
Oh yeah,
I've never
God
played
damn.
it.
that came out too.
Yeah, I've never played it before, so I do want to try that out.
Oh, you never played the original at all?
No, I've never played it.
Actually, it's not surprising. Now I'm thinking of it. Yeah,
Did
but
the Kirby game come out this year? Was that early this year?
there was a Kirby game.
For the Switch. I do want to try that one out. There's a lot of a lot of Legend of Heroes games that I bought that I just will never have the time to play.
That is a long list.
Hi-Fi Rush, goddamn, I forgot about that.
Hi-Fi Rush,
Hi-Fi Rush is on there, yeah. So
there's a lot of games this year. Holy shit.
there were a lot of games this year that I would like to play Alan Wake 2, but I'm not gonna play that unless I understand what's going on in the first one. I don't really have a desire to play Zelda. I don't.
Play Breath of the Wild.
It's Breath of the Wild with better. It's a sandbox Breath of the Wild as far as I understand it.
Which I'll say, Breath of the Wild is probably the best experience I've had on Switch.
I want to play Breath of the Wild, but it's like I don't have the time to commit to that. So.
I get it. My thing is like you're saying, the commitment to it, and then I don't want to pay for the game I've kind of already played.
I'll play Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts on Game Pass instead. Thanks.
I mean, look, I'm not to say the game isn't good.
No, we're not saying that.
I'm just not a Zelda. I've never been a Zelda person, so I'm not super inclined to like just put the money down and not care. That being said, I was not a Baldur's Gate 3 person, and I've bought the game 3 times at this point. So, you know, who's to say I could be wrong about Zelda?
Yeah, I mean, I want to play it, but I'm not in a hurry to play it. If that makes sense. There's nothing. It's the best Switch game I've played. It's first Breath of the Wild, but like I've played it already.
So, I mean, other than that, not really. I kind of just, I do at some point want to go over and see you crack open Golem just to see how much of a piece of shit it is.
I need to cover that really quick.
Yeah, no, as good as this year was, there were some bangers on the bottom too.
Let's cover 5 really quick, and then
5?
we can move on, I promise. No, like super fast.
5?
Number 1 worst game of the year from deduction. Just looking at it, Kong, Skull Island, Kong, Rise of Kong looks like the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my goddamn
Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy.
Walking Dead, Destinies. Holy shit. Just looks unfinished.
Yeah,
That looks
I
like
saw
my
the
number
footage
one,
for
dude.
That one.
That
That was
boss
pretty
fight-
awful.
Gold.
One animated cinematic.
3rd, Golem,
Sure.
aka the slavery simulator. You literally stay in a prison the whole time. They tell you that you're a slave.
I'm curious to see your other two.
Honestly,
Have you seen footage of Golem?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
it's
Golem looks
so
way more
funny.
polished than Walking Dead and Kong.
It
I
does.
bought all
Is
these
this in a tier list or just 5?
tier list
So from worst to best?
from worst to best. However way you flip that.
You mean
yeah.
like number 1 was the worst?
Kong's the worst piece of shit. that's
Okay,
come out
okay,
this
so you're
year.
I don't know,
3.
dude. Walking Dead looks
No, dude.
So you're saying Kong was the
I've watched
worst, and
long
then it
plays
was
both.
Walking Dead, and now it's Golem?
Yeah,
okay.
Golem's number 3 because Golem at least has like some variety.
Almost like it started off like a quality game that's ran out of
you can
shit.
like move the camera
Okay.
360 degrees. Like that's a plus.
There's moving
All right.
cinematics.
What's 4 and 5?
Number 4, the Grey Hill incident.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome.
What was that?
It's
Alien
just-
jump scare game,
It's a
bro.
walking simulator, but there's combat also. But these gray aliens just like stay there and they don't move. And they
I
get
actually
you.
would like to get us all
Bro.
together to play that one.
I
'cause,
bought
like,
it
Okay.
twice. I have 2 copies of it.
yes.
Okay, I'll take a look at it after this.
You have to. And then the day after, it looks like a giant piece of shit. But you can't play it anymore, so it doesn't qualify.
So new 5. Crime Boss.
See, Crime Boss.
That
at least
game
has
looks fun
gold.
though.
It
That looks like my cup of tea. It looks like a shitty
it looks like
driving
a solid
movie.
6, son. These are 2s. All right.
Hogwarts Legacy.
See, that's the thing with that game. Sherry played it.
Hogwarts I don't care.
And
All
I
right,
don't
you
give
are
a fuck about Harry
blinded.
Potter.
You're blinded if you're a Harry Potter fan.
I
There
don't
is
like
no
Harry Potter.
reason that your game need to be looking like PlayStation 2 graphics.
It looked fun.
And Skyrim has more spells than you do. As a wizard game.
As much
give
as I
2
don't
shits about
like
Harry Potter.
As a
Skyrim.
wizard game. Also, I'm not even going to talk about the goblins.
Stretch.
There's a lot. It's not.
So
There's
big
a
of a
lot of
stretch.
stuff in this
I
game
hate
where I'm
Harry
just
Potter,
like,
though. It's nothing.
I don't care for Harry Potter. I've never saw the appeal of it.
I watched
Besides,
more movies
besides
than I
all the
can.
other stuff, no reason your game should look like garbage and have less spells than Elder Scrolls Skyrim. That's all I'm saying.
Skyrim's a 12-year-old game.
As a wizarding game,
Right.
So
But yeah, I never played it. But
I have no desire to play
shout out
it.
to the
No.
bottom tier games that came out this year.
I'll get the achievement
Oh,
someday.
and
but-
also to stir the conspiracy pot even more, Golem, Walking Dead, and Kong all the same publisher. You tell me what's
they're
going
on a roll, dude. I'm curious. I'm excited to see their 2024.
Hell
they had
yes.
the same publisher.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the publisher, but yep.
Cash out.
Interesting.
Seems like we got a new
Z tier.
LJN on our hands, just buying properties and releasing dog shit.
No.
I'm here for it.
No. Here's what's going on. Those 3 games are doing the same thing that Cooking Mama did.
Mining Bitcoin.
Mining Bitcoin. All right, the games are garbage and cost nothing to make, and they spit them out. And the next thing you know, they're so bad, they're getting a lot of social, like, media hype. about how bad these are, and everyone's like, there's no way this game's so bad I have to buy it, I have to try it. So then you've got all these streamers playing shitty Golem, and they're just mining Bitcoin.
Got you for
PCs.
5 cents.
Dude,
I'm telling it.
that's what sucks. I
calling
bought
it now.
Too.
You
I
heard
just
it
ran out
here
of time.
first.
I wanted to play them.
Breaking news.
Stir that conspiracy pot.
Breaking news. IGN's gonna hire me. Actually, that's probably more of a Kotaku article, but okay.
It's probably more research than IGN does for their articles.
Too much water.
Let's talk about the podcast.
That's what we're here about.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say favorite episodes.
Yeah, just kind of do 3 and why really quick and like very brief and.
Okay, I'll be brief.
Yeah.
My favorite game we played, hands down, Mr. Mosquito. And I know it was the game I picked, but I actually hadn't played this game before we played it. Hands down, amazing.
It was my number 1 too.
Amazing
so.
game.
Same. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Universal
to play.
number 1.
So fun. Actually not surprisingly, the Game Boy Advance episode was our most popular one.
Yeah.
So I think there's obvious plans in the future to do more specials like that. I just think Game Boy Advance at that time was very popular, considering we put it out in May, and that's when the whole Game Boy Advance thing was happening.
It's nice that we all had Game Boy Advance growing up too, to like kind of share a full,
Those console focused episodes are a lot of fun to make.
My least favorite game I think that that we did was probably either Splatterhouse or Daikatana. But those aren't they're just not my jams.
Yeah. Daikatana's not necessarily a good game either, so.
I mean, like, the least interesting as a whole for me. Yeah. So.
Side scrollers aren't really your thing.
I still have the Daikatana songs caught in my head, like,
shit.
still burnt in my head. This is months ago. I still have burnt in my head. Still.
Stop.
And like, still burnt in my brain, bro.
But yeah, as far as, like, is it worth it games, I think that Mr. Mosquito was.
I think unanimously we had
slam
so much
dunk
fun with that shit.
Yeah, Mr. Mosquito is my favorite one to do this year too. It's a game I've been wanting to play for a really long time, and like obviously it delivered. We also had a blast. It was one we all get to sit down and play together too. I generally like the ones we get to sit down and actually all play together instead of separately.
Yeah. And then I'll say this too, like Barry, every time I go over to their house, I'm like staring at it, I'm like, we should play Mr. Mosquito. We should play Mr. Mosquito. So I'm glad you picked that.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally got to that one. So it's another one I really enjoyed. There's a lot of games that this year that me and Bryan already played before. Like 50 Cent was still really fun.
Oh yeah.
Like honestly better than I remember it. It's so stupid. Like just dumb fun. And then I really enjoyed playing this Kirby one. Honestly, it wasn't on my notes because we just did it. But like it's really nice. It's been a stressful couple months for everyone, and just get together and play games and have fun. Like really needed that. So therapeutic for me. So least favorite, honestly, it sucks because I own it, but probably Daikatana. Like. It was the only one I felt like there was a chore to get through. Like every other one, like overall, like Hey Pikachu was so brief it didn't really count. We made fun of it, like screaming at Pikachu. We had fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Daikatana felt like a chore. Like
there was very little things in that game I could laugh at.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like that felt like work.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one that felt like work. Everything else I pretty much enjoyed. Even if it wasn't like stellar, I still enjoyed playing it. Like I finally got to play Golden Axe Duel. Like Daikatana was like, ooh, oh, we did that. Fuck. So,
well, maybe next year you won't have the one game that we all disliked.
I'm sure I do.
I'll say this: the game that kind of blew me away was Ys Oath and Felghana. Like that game was awesome. It was probably the best game we played all year, in my opinion. I had more fun with Mr. Mosquito, but I want to copy this game so bad now. Like, and it was more recent too. Like, it's not because it's just fresh in my mind. Like that game was so fun. I play it the worst way possible too. Like portable at work. I still had like glowing praises for this game. Like outstanding. Also, I think the Spider-Man port episode was fun. I've had, obviously I love the PlayStation version, it's what I grew up playing, but I really wanted to play the Dreamcast version and kind of comparing and contrasting. There might be, one in the pipe this year. There might be. That was a lot of fun for me to do personally. I like collecting multiple copies of the same game, so selfishly, that one was a lot of fun.
I loved that game. It was better, and I remembered it. It's the best Spider-Man game. It's better than the PS4 one.
I mean, it's a great game. It's a classic for a reason. But yeah, specifically comparing the ports, that was a lot of fun.
I'd rather play that game 4 times than have to play the Spider-Man PS4.
And then lastly, I'm really happy.
Damn!
I'm not kidding. I don't care for that game.
Damn!
And then lastly, I was really happy I got to play Bubble Bobble 2 finally. It's it's probably the crown jewel of my collection. I think there's a couple of games worth more, but for me, it's like the mystique behind that game. And it turned out to be a great game.
We did the best we could.
Tough one.
Yeah.
It was a difficult game.
Yeah.
For being Bubble Dragon.
Didn't feel like a slog though. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm just happy I got to finally play it.
All right, give me one game each
looking forward to next year.
Sure, we're gonna do next year.
So as far as what Bryan picked out, we already have next year 100% planned out, except for one of my episodes apparently, because I forgot to put it in there.
Subject to change, though.
That can be subject to change.
Absolutely.
If people
We got to get the people what they want.
Yeah.
We try to
want to bring some stuff up, we can move some things around.
Sure.
Which is fine.
And like we try to just build a skeleton so we can at least like stay on schedule, because Barry does a lot of editing for us, and we try to make it as simple as possible. Because my God, Barry deserves
do all the editing,
a lot of money that we don't have. But as far as episodes picked out, Bryan picked out specifically focus on is it worth it? I'm gonna pick Primal Rage every time, bro. I love fucking Primal Rage, and Bryan picked out a Primal Rage ports episode. So,
which is what you were alluding to about 4 seconds ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
And God, really like one of my favorite games growing up. I have one version of Primal Rage. I'm excited to see the ones that you have, because I know what you have compared to what I have. So pretty excited to see one of them specifically.
It'll be fun. I think it's going to have a lot more meat to chew on comparing and contrasting than Spider-Man did, because some of these versions are just so radically shitty compared to the other ones.
We're talking like different, like, PlayStation and Dreamcast are both disc. We're talking disc versus freaking
some cartridges, yeah.
Cartridges. And so Primal Rage is a shit. Dinosaur guys, it's kind of our thing.
It is.
I will say, now that we're putting these out there in the wind, they're locked in. We can't change them.
No. Subject to change. It's like wrestling.
Not the ones we're saying now. These are locked in.
I feel like we can get them in the whole year, hopefully. If we can't
They're locked in, bro.
Guess I gotta track down that Tiger Arcom fucking Primal Rage.
If you get the owl pop so hard, bro.
I'm not. We're sticking the traditional. Anyways, Barry actually picked a game. It's one I've always wanted to play.
I think I know what it is.
You do. But yeah, I'm excited to play it. It is Skies of Arcadia Legends.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to play this game. I've heard great things about it.
It's a great game.
It's not your typical, RPG. So I've always been intrigued by it. Even when it first came out on Dreamcast, I was like, this game looks interesting.
This is consistently on people's lists of best RPGs of all time.
Yeah.
Like, very high up.
And I'm very picky about my RPGs, but this is one that's always been on my radar. I am super excited to play that game, finally.
I've already played it, so...
Oh, nice.
You guys get to...
Sick.
To play it.
Played a long time ago, so I'm going to need a refresher.
Did you play the GameCube or the Dreamcast one?
I played the GameCube one on an emulator.
Oh. That's against the law. Wee-woo.
I just thought I don't want to skittish shit.
As far as mine for Nate's, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not excited about any of these.
Yeah, I have that effect.
Yeah, your list, I'm looking at it and I'm like, man. But I am most interested in Haunting Ground.
Initially was excited for it until I played Real Rose. Now I'm like a little worried about this one.
That's why
I'm not excited. I'm not excited for a lot of these games just simply because of sometimes we have similar tastes, but they don't mix.
So there's a lot of things we have our own thing on though.
Yeah,
and
so
Haunting Ground's one I'm just like so worried about.
It can't be worse than Real Rose. I'm not even worried about it.
Haunting Ground is the one I'm most interested in.
I think it'll make a good topic because of like how much it is. And,
I'm also interested to see what I gave away. So.
Yeah, well, Real Rose, you feel pretty good about that one. Because
That's my thing, dude. It cannot be worse. There's no way.
It's got a dog. It's not getting tortured in it, so there's a start.
Do we know that?
That's true.
I don't know, man.
God.
So.
It's Capcom. It can't be worse, dude.
Expect Haunting Ground coming out in October. It's pretty far out, but I had to say, that one is going to be our spooky season episode this year.
It's locked.
Locked in. You can't back out now, because there was one game I was thinking about backing out now, but you didn't say it, so it's fine.
Which one?
I'm not saying it.
What about games coming out in 2024? What are you guys looking forward to?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I was gonna say Monster Hunter, but that's not until 2025. So honestly, I could not give a singular doo-doo about anything coming out this year except for that.
Really?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
That's a big one.
After that, I don't care.
Oh, I got one that you bought. Oh yeah.
What?
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Ah, shit. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. That comes out in March, right?
Allegedly.
Oh, I'll have plenty of time. That's going to be like 3 weeks after Final Fantasy. I'll be done.
I got a couple. Stalker 2 is the big one for me.
That's mine too.
Yeah, I've been waiting so long for this game, and it sucks because of the whole conflict in Ukraine. It got delayed again. I thought it was going to be one of these Game of the Year games this year, but man, I'm excited for that one. The first one's such an underappreciated game. 2 just looks really next gen, to be frank. Really excited for that.
Space Marine 2.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
That's one of mine.
I think that's gonna, fill that Gears of War void. The first one's amazing, and I think this one's gonna be just even more. Like, it's gonna be fun. It's co-op for fuck's sake. Warhammer Space Marine's gonna be great. I already said Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. It's Animal Crossing, Fuck Yakuza. Like, let's go.
I can't even think of anything that's supposed to come out this year.
And then Avowed. I'm really excited for Avowed. It's Obsidian's new game. For you guys that don't
Looks
know.
a lot better the second time we saw it than the first time. So
Obsidian makes good shit, man.
Yeah, they do.
Consistently good games. So I'm excited.
it's
for that
definitely
one.
like not as heavy hitting as this year was for sure.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I think it's definitely lighter as far as like huge top heavy titles than 2023 was for sure.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy's gonna like kind of fill that void in the beginning of the year for everybody.
I think it's interesting. We're getting one of the bigger games right off the bat too.
What?
For 2024, we're getting one of the biggest release games just right at the start of the year.
For what? Final Fantasy?
Just Final Fantasy being the biggest.
That's what they came out with. The first one did.
Yeah.
It was early March.
It's
it was a
cool.
week after the release of this one.
Damn.
They taken advantage of the spring quarter,
Yeah.
man.
I think the first big game to come out in 2024 is going to be Prince of Persia. I think that comes out in January.
Yeah, but
I feel the same way about it.
You need a damn win, bro.
Nobody's gonna play that game.
I love Prince of Persia. I'm glad it's back. It's not what I was looking for Prince of Persia, though.
I hear you.
Like,
They just took Killmonger and took the vibe of Killmonger.
Yeah.
Like,
can we just get
with
like
the hip hop and stuff? Like, okay,
When Star Wars
but
Outlaws come out, because that's Ubisoft's big game next year.
Star Wars Outlaws?
Yeah,
2024?
what I'm saying.
Sometime. I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
it's confirmed date.
because that's really Ubisoft's big game next year, right? Like,
Well, until they announce their next Assassin's Creed.
Allegedly,
it's
it's-
not going to be in feudal Japan.
Outlaws
It's
is allegedly
not going to.
It's allegedly scheduled for the 17th of March currently. I know Stalker's like TBD because it keeps getting delayed.
Stalker will be mid-year.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4.
No, they've leaked. Well, there's been leaks that it's like a new Black Ops,
Apparently, it's going to be like Gulf Conflict,
which makes me even less excited.
Gulf?
Gulf War.
Oh, Skull and
Gulf
Bones.
War.
Skull and Bones is 2024.
Ubisoft's big game.
Yeah.
People are playing the
Ubisoft
beta right
needs a win,
now.
man.
Yeah.
I'll say
I'm not
that.
buying that day one.
I'm not either.
No.
It'll be $30 off in 2 weeks, like whatever.
Yeah.
It looks fun though. I just don't want to pay for it. Ubisoft needs
It
a
looks fun
goddamn
if
win.
you have friends.
Yeah.
But I bet you if you don't have friends, it's dog shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
Cautiously looking forward to Alone in the Dark. That's a franchise that could either take off if it's money, it could actually catch on and be something and fill the Silent Hill void.
Sure.
It could also be dog shit.
Metroid Prime 4.
Is that coming out this year?
It has to, dude.
Better along with
They
the
got
Switch
okay.
too.
Look, they got their new Mario game out of the way. They got Zelda out of the way. They got Kirby out there. Pokemon came out last year, and they're releasing the DLC. I think early next
Bro,
year.
we're getting multiple Luigi
They
games before
they
we
they
get
put they put the feelers out with Metroid Remastered to
Yeah.
see what if people even wanted this game, and obviously they do. So like this game has to be coming out this year.
We got Dread.
Metroid Prime
Last
4,
year.
2024.
I hope so.
They've been waiting.
Well, here's the thing with that, Nate.
That's the game that's going to bring in the next Switch.
The Dread thing, they used the remake of 2 as like the feeler.
Right. I know. I
Mhm.
They
know.
used this remake of Prime to get the feeler for 4. Like, it has to be.
I think- I think
we
remaster
talked
Shadow
about it,
drop.
but like I think this is the game that's going to drop with the
Switch 2
with the
launch
Switch
title.
2.
I agree. I hope so. God damn it. I fucking hope so.
I don't know what else they would. They burned their Zelda and their Mario. What Paper Mario? What else are they gonna have? A new Donkey Kong?
It's not a system seller, though.
That's
I
what I'm
love Donkey Kong,
saying.
but it's not a system seller.
My last game for 2024, I forgot. Wolf Among Us 2 is finally coming
Absolutely.
out. So that's a big
Absolutely.
one. Especially, I'm kind of curious to see if that one's going to be affected developmentally since the licensing's all fucked up now. But
Well, and Telltale's all fucked up.
yeah,
It's interesting that the game's ever going to come out. It might turn into new Duke Nukem Forever.
I'm expecting a lot of disappointments this year.
it's pretty hard to follow up.
Speaking of
Imagine.
dis-
No, I
Disappointments.
just mean like a lot of disappointments for the fact that they've laid off so many people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's been a.
They've laid off so many people, and they're going to
Bloodbath.
be spitting stuff out that's
That's a
just not finished.
good
It's going to
topic
be
of this-
Redfall after Redfall after Redfall. 100%.
You're not wrong.
That's the thing. Is as big of a year in gaming, it's so sad we had so many layoffs. Like this is a huge year, like money wise.
Yep, and they don't want to share it, so
Nope.
that's just the problem.
That's you get paid. CEOs of Activision that get forced out, stepping down to like $300 million on their way out.
You mean you got Hasbro shuttering everything. Wizards of the Coast is just shuttering game studio. They got rid of the entire team basically that like greenlit Baldur's Gate 3.
shit. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to talk about in his award that got rushed.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yep.
So it's
Damn.
just like what, and then Embracer's just dropping stuff like flies because they think they can buy a game studio and it spit out money the next year, which
Rest
is
in peace,
not how
Tom
game
Splitters.
development
Rest
works.
in peace, Saints Row. God.
Yep. So it's just gonna be a lot of Redfalls and a lot of
This-
Golems this year.
Scary future for sure. I feel like there's a big door opening for AA studios to kind of step up and take the mantle.
Well, that's what sucks. This year was a big year for AA games, but next year it's probably going to immediately revert. unfortunately. Games are so goddamn expensive, too.
I think they've gotten to the point where everything that's new IP, fresh coming out is duds after duds after duds that they have to go back to remakes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just cheaper
Resident
for
Evil
them
4
to
is going to be a
make.
hit. That's the thing.
Resident Evil 4 is guaranteed to be a hit. I'm biased, but we've been waiting for Final Fantasies for a long time.
Sure, but that's going to be a hit.
Why are we have a Last of Us Remake 2?
Again.
That's ridiculous.
Why do we have that?
That's a great question.
And then now Nintendo's doing it like crazy. I mean, I think there's merit to having RPG and Paper Mario out on a newer platform, but
older games make sense. But literally, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old game is fucking insane.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're pulling up old stuff because they can't get new IPs to stick.
Yep.
They can't. I mean, what was the Immortals of Avium or whatever?
Yeah.
They blame their basically flop on Baldur's Gate,
which is hilarious.
They blame the flop on Baldur's Gate, saying they got steamrolled by it. Yeah. But honestly, your game did not look good.
I think it was kind of
Forspoken just flopped hard, dude.
It's because they're so expensive to make now, and then companies like EA, if it doesn't sell, who released Immortals, if it doesn't sell 800 million copies, it's automatically
not exaggerating. 7 million copies isn't enough anymore.
No.
It's just
they said
Resident Evil 7 was a mega hit at 7 million. That's what kind of changed Capcom's tide at 7 million. So there's games hitting 8 to 10 million that aren't meeting. Battlefield is a good example. I think it sold 9 million. This game's a flop. I'm like, it sold 9 million fucking copies and it reviewed poorly at launch. What? How's that a flop?
And now they're actually actively making a new season for it at the start of 2024, but it's still a flop and you're spending money on it. What sense does that make? I think because too many shareholders and shit.
Well, that and it's
not private institutions anymore.
They take so long to make now too. You have to stick to the schedule because there's no
public investors.
They take so long to make because they're not putting their money back into hiring developers.
Correct.
They're just sucking it up into shareholders' pockets.
Exactly.
That's why your games are taking forever, is because you're not hiring people and you're making people skeleton crew it for
crunching
years and years.
12 people studio, and it's look at Destiny, man. They shaved that whole studio. Bungie's dying.
Bro, I don't know what happened to Bungie.
Sony bought them.
Yep.
They didn't buy them as a game studio. They bought them as a fucking
service
network.
Yeah. Which Destiny makes them a lot of money.
Yeah, no doubt.
I should have just let it be.
Yeah.
But same deal is you gotta siphon it from somewhere, and they're gonna siphon it from the bottom first.
You saw what Activision did to them. You saw them get away from it. And they did the same fucking thing to them. They're kind of
what happened to Activision. So
Diablo.
Yeah.
Yep.
The same deal.
$40 horses.
Overwatch.
See, they put the feelers out for $100 DLC for Diablo.
I saw it out there.
Did you guys see what it was? No. I'm sorry. The World of Warcraft one. Did you guys see that one?
No, I didn't. No.
So they're putting out, and I could be wrong. I don't play World of Warcraft, but they're essentially putting out a raid-ready pack. So the big end game raids, you can immediately get raid-ready gear, immediately get all of these mounts, immediately get leveled up, access to it instantly. All these people that have to sit there and I don't know World of Warcraft in-game raids very much, but my experience with Final Fantasy is when a new raid tier is coming out, that's when the crafters coming out hot. They're crafting sets for people. They're getting that's when the money's rolling in. People are getting all their gear ready for it. You have to hit a certain number to even get ready for it. And they're just here's a pack where you can just do it. That just breaks the economy of the game.
Yeah.
So it's all of these people that worked and suffered in the game to get to that point and play it. They're just I could just pay to get there now.
Shitting on the existing community.
I could just pay to get
game
there
alive for almost 20 years.
And it's not cheap either. It's expensive, but people are gonna buy it because they don't want to spend the time in getting ready for it. They're just gonna be oh, I can just buy this and skip all your bullshit about getting raid tier.
And that's the whole 2K thing. You can start at level 85 day one if you spend $150.
Yep. I think there is something to be said about level tier skips when your game is so long.
That's the thing with Final Fantasy and shit. It's just 12 years or more built into it before.
Right now, in that game, max level is 90, and they have a tier skip to 70, I believe. But the problem, and that's the problem, you see it in the game, it breaks it. You see it in the players, it breaks them. A lot of people came over from World of Warcraft and bought those tier skips because they didn't want to play A Realm Reborn, because it's not that great. It is a slog to get through. And they're just get through it. You'll get through the good stuff, which is true. But people don't want to. They come from World of Warcraft. They want to play. They want to get to the end game content right then and there. So there's a ton of people that bought the tier skips, and now you've got level 70 people trying to go up to 90, not knowing how to play their class.
Yeah, they
have no clue what they're
yet.
doing.
Yeah,
no idea what's going on. And then other people in the parties are suffering for it because you've got people who just don't know how to play their classes and don't want to learn. but
It's frustrating.
that's something else for another day. I don't play that game anymore for a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons.
I did want to touch one more comment. I saw a news article about Insomniac and how they only made $576 off of the what was the Xbox Sunset Overdrive? If it wasn't
Sunset Overdrive?
they made $576 off that game.
What?
That game came out like forever
It was
ago.
an Xbox
One launch title.
Yeah.
Like they made $576.
Wasn't
off
it
the
like
game.
a pack-in too with a lot of stuff?
Game Pass?
What's on Game Pass
No,
now? But
it's on Game
that was
Pass
way
now,
after.
but
Right.
yeah, not when it launched.
Right, no.
How the
Yeah.
fuck did they only make $500?
That doesn't sound right.
Look it up right now. I just saw an article yesterday about it.
from the leaks?
I don't know
Is
about
that from the
It
leaks?
sounds, it's all on,
That's crazy,
Yeah.
dude. But I mean,
it sounds fake, but like, swear to God.
that's the thing. It's video game companies used to be like private. You know,
Sunset Overdrive made Insomniac just $567 profit.
they're so expensive. Games are so expensive to make now, man. That's why I'm kind of surprised. I mean, you do see so many indie games out for that very reason.
It says the 567 was Insomniac's share of the profits. They had 0% royalty rate for it, so there's
That
no
sucks.
surprise
It was
their share
co-developed
amount's
by
so
them.
low.
Mm.
But why take a risk and work with anyone else unless you can maximize your profits?
It says if you look at the net sales, it made under 50 million, which leads to a negative $7 million profit.
it was a very well received, good game.
But that's
But
why
that's
you
the
get these
thing,
devs
like-
now that just like take games to make money. We talked
says-
about it a little bit in some of our Game Boy. There was one company that kept making ports for games just to fund the games they wanted to make.
It says Insomniac
Gotta go
made
back to that.
$42 million. They kept the 567. Xbox kept the rest.
What a
Microsoft.
deal.
No, they didn't make $567 off of the game.
Yeah.
They made their money off of the
Yeah.
game, but whatever their contract stipulated, Microsoft sucked all of
Well,
it.
Yeah, it was
needs the money,
co-developed.
so-
So it wasn't like they did all the work and took it. They co-developed it.
Microsoft needs money, so it's
They co-developed it and kept $42 million.
Someone got hosed, bro.
Bro.
That's crazy. Like, what lawyer was like, "Yep, we'll sign that."
I don't know.
it's wild.
It's a shocker. Insomniac makes games for Sony now.
Yeah.
No shit.
So, on that note,
Just thought that was an interesting one. But yeah, 2024 is gonna be I think interesting. So word I'll use for now. I'm cautious about this next year. There's a lot of scary stuff happening in the industry. So
I'll say that also. There's no way it's going to be such a groundbreaking year for games like this year was. This year was special, honestly. It really was. That being said, we're getting a Fallout TV show. I hope it doesn't suck. Please don't suck.
I will say 2024 is going to be the year where I start buying digital.
scary.
Sad to say, but
We didn't even get to the whole that collecting in 2024 is gonna be
yeah,
economy's
sad to
dead.
say, but
It's gonna be something.
I'm tired of buying games and then
45%.
What was that
devalued.
game that was on sale?
Immortals of Avium.
Immortals of
Yeah.
Avium was digitally on sale for
$7.
$8, $7, and like I can't
Yeah.
buy it physically anywhere for less than 20. Like, bro, I'm not.
Yeah, that's really
I'm
hard to not
not.
look at. And I get why studios are doing digital.
Especially for a game I'm not committed to and I want to play it, but I don't want to that's not a collectible game, a collection game to me.
Yeah.
I'm not spending $20 on that. No.
Especially these modern games where they're not going to work in 20 years because they're not going to be online access to get the day one patch.
My fucking Gothica shit doesn't work. And I'm still mad about that. But that
That's
game came
right.
out like 25 years ago.
So we can try it on my DOS computer, Windows 3.1.
It's digital.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a
I can.
two-speed
I,
CD ROM
I
drive.
probably
We can figure
spent
this out.
$2 on it. I'll just buy the one from GOG.
Again, though, that's a lot less painful than spending full price on a game. Like the Avatar game's a good example. It's on
No.
2 discs.
Oh my
I know. But yeah, I hate Avatar. Anyway,
I was abducted by the RDA. I
single-player
still get
game.
those ads.
single player game requires internet connection to install.
Shout out to Larry
on
for
2
putting
discs.
Baldur's Gate 3 on disc.
Yep.
It's the whole
playable.
game's actually on
The
disc.
whole game is on disc. Yep.
Big W.
Well, you'll still need the patches, but
They're on the disc.
no, the new patches when they all come out.
5.0 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm saying they're gonna keep patching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
It'll be
playable. From
playable.
the disc though. That's the other
It
trying
won't
to say.
it won't brick it.
It won't be like New Vegas.
Well, let us know what you guys think of 2024. It's tons of topics to discuss. Thank you for partaking on this journey with us for another year. Appreciate everyone's engagement.
Tell us your favorite episodes. Tell us your favorite games. Tell us your biggest disappointments of the year. I've already heard some of them. Tell us what you're looking forward to next year. All in the Discord.
Yeah, definitely. We saw a lot of growth this year, guys. We really appreciate it. We do this because it's literally the fact that other people enjoy this, where it's like my favorite hobby with my favorite people on earth, and other people enjoy that. It's humbling every time. So thank you, everyone.
What's the next episode?
What is the next episode?
you have the first actual episode of the year. And is it worth it? Actually, starting out last year, Users was also first.
Yeah, dude.
What is it this year?
Thank God we don't match up with the cycle of the moon. No 13 months around here. I get to go first every year. No, for the first one I picked, big fan of the series. Never played this game. Actually, just sold a copy. So we get to crack open my sealed copy, and we're going to TikTok because we're evil. It is Gunstar Superheroes.
Is it actually still sealed?
Oh yeah, I saved it.
Okay, yeah, we can open it up on
Oh, yeah.
TikTok and make people just crawl in their skin, I guess.
Only to rival the Kingdom Hearts on Fire. Only to rival.
In the trash with
I'm
my
looking
match.
for that kind of heat right off the bat. But yeah, Gunstar Superheroes. Really excited to play this one. Game Boy Advance exclusive. We're gonna start the year with that one.
It's actually WATA sealed. You'll see us open it.
Yeah.
We didn't give them single saying, no, it's not. Fuck them.
It's WATA sealed.
I inherited it.
I'm not saying it's officially WATA
I
sealed,
got
but
you.
it's going to be WATA sealed.
Yeah.
Graded and
It's a
everything.
10.
Watch this shit,
Perfect.
Dennis.
Gem Mint 10.
It's actually an 11. One of one. One of one pop. But yeah, we're again, guys, hit us with your suggestions. It's not set in stone for the year. The 3 we told you guys obviously are now, but
It's 4.
oh shit, yeah, it's true.
Anyways,
Yeah.
zooming out of here. Same as always. Stay
Stay oppressed,
oppressed.
people. Stay oppressed.
Stay
Happy New Year.
glass ceiling. Shatter it.
Gamers.